Insurance agent Lisa Ribeiro is suing her ex-boyfriend, carpenter Mike Hammer, for selling her dining room set and her DVD and CD collections. Lisa says Mike was angry over their breakup.
Hammer used to have a relationship, and according to what I read, you moved in with him with your daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that didn't last very long.
No.
You decided to leave him.
Yes.
You didn't tell him that you were leaving him.
No, I did not.
Left him a note, according
Yes,
to you.
I left him a note.
And left. When you came back to retrieve your property, which was a short time later, according to you, most of your valuable property was gone.
Yes.
And according to you, Mr. Hammer sold that property the weekend that you left at a yard sale.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are also suing him for harassment.
Yes.
And slander, because you say that his constant calls to your place of business caused you to lose your job, and he said things to coworkers that were unpleasant about you. Mr. Hammer says that you retrieved everything that was yours. He doesn't know anything whatsoever about this harassment. He was merely concerned about your whereabouts, so he called to find out where you were. And he said that when you came back with the police, you took all your property. When did you move in with him?
I moved in with them the beginning of January, and we'd started...
Of 2004?
Of 2004, yes.
How old is your daughter?
She's 11 years old.
How long did you know Mr. Hammer before you moved in with him?
Approximately about 2.5 years. I met him at a friend's birthday party. He lived down in the valley, and I lived up in Camarillo at the time. And so driving back and forth, we were both paying rents, or at least I was. And he says, well, hey, why don't you go ahead and, you know, cut your bill down for rent. You could come stay with me, save up some money. And so he offered for me to come and move in with him. And up until that point, we'd gotten along just fine.
Okay. When did you move out?
I moved out April 9th. I left while he was gone, and I went up north to stay with my sister just to kind of get away for, I took a few days off of work. I didn't return until the evening of the 13th, and I went over there on the 14th.
Had you spoken to him between the 9th and the 14th?
No, I had not, but I had
What
spoken.
did you say in the note that you say you left for him?
It was basically short and sweet. I just let him know that it wasn't working out between us, and that I was, you know, afraid to tell him in person because of the way that he'd been treating me while we were living together, and that I would no longer be with him. I didn't want to be with him, that I would be moving out and coming back and getting my belongings that next week.
But you didn't tell him where you were going?
No, I did not.
You returned on the 14th. Did you return alone or with anybody?
I brought a friend with me, and I had a moving van also. I went there, and he didn't answer the door. I'm not sure if he was home or not, but the key that I had, the locks were changed already, so I wasn't able to gain access into the house.
Were you ever able to get into the house or get into any place where you'd store the property at any time?
Yes, I was able. I went back with the police that weekend, the weekend of the 17th.
Okay. What property did you get when you went back?
I retrieved some of my daughter's toys, our clothing, a few of our personal belongings.
Why didn't you take everything?
I took everything that was left there. I had a whole CD collection of about 250 CDs, and he took all of my classic rock CDs were missing. I had a DVD collection, except for the children's movies. All the other DVDs were missing. He even had a girl over there when the police came.
Listen to me carefully. You had a moving van, according to you, with you. You didn't have a moving van for your CDs and your DVDs.
I had a lot of stuff at his house. I brought my dining room table over to his house because he had a...
Did you take that?
No, it was gone. When I came back with the police and the moving truck, my dining room table was missing. I also had a couch and dressers there. Those were there, but they were, my couch was ripped up. The dresser drawers were kind of smashed in and broken. My child's toy box, you know, I had a bunch of stuff there for a moving van.
What did you take in the moving van?
In the moving van, I was only able to take toys and clothes and some of my CDs.
What about furniture?
And my couch. And the dressers that were broken.
What had you wanted to take in the moving van?
I wanted to take my dining room table, also my daughter's CD Walkman, my daughter's boom box, her PlayStation and all her games were missing. I had a home stereo systems, and that was also missing. Various kitchen and bathroom items, you know, of
all right,
course,
well, that's
knickknacks,
nonsense. I don't want to be, don't bother me about that stuff. Mr. Hammer, what happened to all this stuff?
Oh, Your Honor, I had my own CD collection, my own DVD collection, which she integrated hers with. I don't know what she was saying was hers and wasn't hers. Everything that I had, that I possessed, was at the house.
You know what's yours and what's not.
Miss Ribeiro.
Sorry.
Exactly. I do know what's mine and what's hers. The problem with that being is she left, and I had no idea.
Dining room table and chairs.
It was out in the garage when I left. I took all of her stuff and put it out in the garage.
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
I don't want to hear you yet. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I spoke to you. You testified. Now I'm speaking to him. He has an opportunity to speak. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Dining room table and chairs. According to you, you put that out in the garage.
Along with the dressers, along with the...
Shh. I asked you about one thing. I said dining room table and chairs.
Yes.
You put that out in the garage.
Yes.
PlayStation.
Everything that was hers, I boxed up and took and put in the garage, taking my own personal stuff out of the garage so it'd have room so it would be enclosed.
I have a witness, Your Honor, that saw him selling these things.
Did you?
I apologize.
That's ridiculous.
Boombox, a Walkman, her own little entertainment center, PlayStation, all of those things, including the dining room table and chairs, you packed up or just put in the garage, in storage, waiting for her. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, Your Honor. And there was things missing when she left, so she took stuff.
And according to you, Miss Ribeiro, you have a witness who saw him do what?
I have a witness, a friend of his, her sister, was there on the day that he was having the yard sale and actually described items of mine that he was selling.
We'll call that witness. Where's the witness?
Witness got a name?
Michelle Newman. He even took my daughter's purse coins around him.
I didn't take nothing.
It's my kid.
Yeah, you should take
If you
care of
say
your
one
kid's
will work
stuff.
to each other, you're both leaving. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Can you give me any reason why Miss Newman would make up this story about you?
I don't understand it.
I can only think of one reason. Can you think of what that is?
No.
Because what she says is true.
And later today,
So you didn't think?
Correct, Your Honor.
He didn't. For somebody who brings these pictures, I wouldn't speak.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lisa Ribeiro says ex-boyfriend Mike Hemmer got rid of her personal property after they broke up. Lisa claims Mike sold the belongings at a garage sale.
Miss Newman, how do you know these people?
Okay, my brother's best friends with Mike Hemmer. I've known him for years, ever since I was a small child.
Okay. I'm going to direct your attention to the weekend that would have followed April 9th, 2004. Were you at Mr. Hemmer's house?
Yes.
What were you doing there?
I went there with my brother, and when we had walked up, there was...
What did you go there for?
Just visit.
Okay.
And when I had walked up, there was a bunch of stuff from the house on the front lawn, and they were obviously stuff of Lisa's. I've seen them a million times before in the house.
Do you remember what they were?
Yeah.
What?
There was a glass dining room table with leather chairs, numerous CDs, DVD players, VCR.
Did you have a conversation with Mr. Hemmer about these items?
Yeah, I did. I asked him where Lisa was. And
What did he say?
He said that she had taken off a couple days earlier, and he kind of joked, said that when she came back, that her stuff would be gone.
Did you spend any time there that day?
A short amount of time.
Did anybody come up while you were there to make any purchases of the stuff that was in the yard?
Actually, as we were walking up, there was a box of German beer mugs, about 12, 15 of them in a box, and someone was buying them as I walked up.
Mr. Hemmer, were those your beer mugs?
I did not sell any beer mugs. I don't know what
So
she's
you don't know
talking
what
about.
you don't
That's
know
not
anything.
true. I've seen the money.
Shh. You don't know anything about beer mugs. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm not telling you that. I'm saying I never
Do you
sold
have any, Miss Ribeiro? Did you have any beer mugs?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Tell me about them.
They were beer mugs from Germany that have been in my family ever since I was a small kid, and they were all, you know, individually handcrafted and with different, you know, visions of Germany and cities inside Germany on it.
Okay. Miss Newman, I assume you've known Mr. Hemmer longer than you've known Miss Ribeiro. Is that right?
Yes.
Did your brother ever have a falling out with him?
No.
Mr. Hemmer, can you give me any reason to suggest why Miss Newman would make up this story about you?
No, I can't give you any insight on that.
I can't either.
I don't understand it.
The only thing that I can figure out, sir, I can only think of one reason why she would testify the way she has against you. Can you think of what that is?
No, I can't actually. There's no reason.
Because what she says is true.
Well, I never took
That's
money.
the only reason I could figure out that Miss Newman, who is not a friend of the plaintiff's, who's known you for years, who is not a friend of yours per se, but she is the sister of a man who's a friend of yours, I can think of no reason why she would make up a story about coming and seeing all this stuff on your front lawn when, Mr. Hemmer, you say in your answer that you were so concerned about the plaintiff that you called her office where she works frequently to find out where she was. Didn't call the police, did you?
No.
Listen to me, Mr. Hemmer. If you're living with someone and their child and they disappear without leaving you a note, which is what you said happened, that there was no note, no nothing, which is why you called a place of business. It seemed to me you wouldn't call a place of business once or twice or three times, which the first thing you would do is call the police and say, my girlfriend and her child are missing. Right, Mr. Hemmer?
Well,
that's what a normal person would do.
You would assume so.
Well, one would assume that that's what a normal together person would do. Just like a normal together person wouldn't take the stuff, put it on the front lawn and say, you want this stuff? It's yours. So I cannot, Mr. Hemmer, think of one reason why Miss Newman would come here and testify at what I believe is some risk to her own personal safety, perhaps, unless what she's testifying to is true. And since all of the things that the plaintiff indicates were missing, including family heirlooms, cannot be replaced, I'm awarding her a judgment consistent with her request in the amount of $5,000. Judgment for the plaintiff. Step out.
These are excused. You may step out.
But he was just very controlling. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere without clearing it through him.
Sometimes women need to be controlled when they act a certain way.
My daughter, he would pick on her.
If I asked her daughter to pick up her toys or to do something, that was being completely demonstrative.
He'd go flinging the cat off of the table just to get a reaction out of my daughter and out of me.
If I shooed the cat away when I was eating dinner, that was being cruel to it.
I just knew that it wasn't going to get any better and it was time to go.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bardsley versus Duncan. Step forward, please.
20-year-old Matthew Bardsley is suing his former co-worker, construction worker John Duncan, for damaging his car by covering it with snow and gravel. John says he was playing a practical joke and is countersuing, claiming Matthew had him fired.
Mr. Bardsley,
Yes.
according to what I read, you were in the parking lot of a store where you work. You work in a children's toy store?
Yes.
You were with someone else in the car. And Mr. Duncan, who was someone who you know, was a friend of yours?
A coworker.
Did you know him socially?
Not really.
It was in the wintertime. According to you, he was sort of acting like an idiot. And he was working on a plow, a snow plow. I assume it was a bad snowstorm because you say that he lifted up the plow. And what did he do?
He persisted to dump the plow full
Not
of...
persisted.
Or
Proceeded.
proceeded to dump the plow full of snow and large rocks and gravel on the top of my vehicle.
He was being dumb.
I think he thought it would be funny.
Former co-worker John Duncan vandalized his car by dumping snow on top of the roof.
So after the snow melted and got all the stuff off the car, you noticed that there was a lot of damage to your car, and you want Mr. Duncan to pay for the damage.
Yes.
Can I see the photographs that you have?
Thanks.
Mr. Duncan, who is this lady?
This is my girlfriend, Tiffany.
Was she there that day?
She was not.
So why is she here, sir?
To testify that we did call the insurance company to have his car taken care of.
Oh, okay.
It's from July. It's from February.
Oh, well, you showed me what it was like after you had the car fixed, sir. Is that right?
That was just a picture of the car so you could match up the other pictures to
But
it.
this is after you had it fixed.
It hasn't been fixed yet.
Well, I know this picture, according to you, was taken February of 2004,
Yes.
showing all of the dents and stuff in the car.
Uh-huh.
And I don't see the dents or anything else in this picture.
Well,
And
that's,
this was
it's
taken
from
in
far away.
June of 2004. February, March, April, May, June. So you didn't have the car fixed?
I haven't had the car fixed yet.
This was not a good picture to bring.
What, Your Honor?
This was not a good picture to bring.
Okay.
Now, you were working a snow plow?
Yes.
Why did you dump the snow on Mr. Bardsley's car?
I was plowing the parking lot of the store. Mr. Bardsley pulled up next to me while I was working on it. Him and his friend got out of the car. They actually gathered some snow off of the roof of his car and actually threw it at me while I was driving the plow.
Threw it at you?
Snowballs.
Snowballs.
While I was driving the plow.
Okay.
So then I picked up a scoop of snow, dumped it off his car, didn't think about the rocks being in from the gravel from the
So you didn't think?
Correct.
Your Honor.
He didn't. For somebody who brings these pictures, I wouldn't speak. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you didn't think about all the schmutz that might have been in the
Correct.
snow, rocks, gravel, all kinds of things.
Correct.
So he wants you to pay for all the damage that you caused to his car. And you
Correct.
say you shouldn't have to pay for that because...
After the accident, I believe it was the following day I saw him at work, he goes, hey, there's some dents on my car. I go, sorry about that. Let me give my insurance lady a call. They said, not a problem. Have him take his car down to the shop. We'll have it all taken care of for him. I saw him the next day at work. I told him that. He said, okay, not a problem. I then had the weekend off from work. I went back to work, and they said, sorry, you're fired. He filed a claim through the store.
So he took the scoop of junk and put it on your car, and he acknowledged that it was a dumb thing to do, and that he said to you, I'm sorry, I'll get in touch with my insurance. Did he tell you that?
No, he didn't.
Did he ever say anything about his insurance?
He told me that he would try contacting his insurance company
Okay.
and see what he could do.
And did you speak to him again with regard to his insurance?
No, I didn't.
So you filed the claim with the store.
I filed the claim with the store before he talked to me about it.
Did they ever give you any money?
No, they didn't. They told me that he acted out of the scope of his employment.
Well, it is out of the scope of his employment. His employment doesn't give him the option of acting like an idiot. Your counterclaim is that since he reported this incident to the company, you lost your job.
Correct.
Explain to me how that's a lawsuit.
I had already had it all set up with my insurance company to have his car taken care of. Had he just allowed me to take care of it through the insurance company, I'd still be employed. I'd still have my medical benefits and my 401k, which I brought.
It's his prerogative. I would have said to him as soon as it happened, listen, I'm really sorry. I'm going to pay for this immediately. Not my insurance company. I'll pay you for it. In any event, he has the right to notify. First of all, you were behaving badly.
Correct.
You know, he acted like a fool. Somebody like you shouldn't be employed in that capacity. Because if he threw a snowball at you, that might have been a stupid thing to do. But the reaction to that wasn't to take a scoopful of snow or debris and other stuff and throw it on his car. So your counterclaim's dismissed because the counterclaim's ridiculous. How much is it going to cost to fix your car, sir?
I have an estimate right here, Your Honor. I got two of them, actually. It's about $2,800 worth of damage.
What kind of car is this?
It's a 92 Subaru SVX.
You still insured by the same company that insured you in February, sir?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Tell your insurance company that they're going to owe you $2,700 because that's the least of the two estimates that I have. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,700. You working now, Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
Good. What kind of work are you doing?
Contractor.
Good. Are you happy?
No.
You want to go back to work for the children's toy store?
I do.
They don't want you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Your Honor, case number 210 on the calendar in the matter of Segura Mandair versus Kennard Williams Martin. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat.
What's your first name?
Erica.
And your last name?
Mandair.
Your mother, Miss Segura, is that right? Now, Miss Segura, you're really suing on behalf of your daughter because you claim that your daughter was assaulted by these two people who were being supervised by Mrs. Kennard.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Mrs. Kennard's daughter, and this is Mrs. Kennard's nephew. According to your complaint, you dropped your daughter off at a mall. She was meeting up with her friend, cousin Jennifer. You got a call about an hour later, crying, indicating that she had been assaulted. But you really don't know anything about this matter yourself. It's your daughter. So why don't you have a seat for a moment? Erica, on what date did you go to the mall?
June 11, 2004.
And it was just you and your cousin Jennifer who were planning to meet that day?
Yes.
Tell me what happened with Miss Kennard's daughter and nephew.
We had been in that store and we went over to look at the shoes section. Brittany and Cornell were sitting down and they looked at us and started laughing. They were talking about my makeup. Brittany said, wow, look at her makeup, she looks like a clown. And so I was like, I get that all the time, people talking about my makeup. And so we walked to go pay for our things at the counter. And the witness, the one that's sitting down...
This young lady?
Yes. She was up there, and they walked up to her and told her about me. And then she looked at me and started laughing. I was like, okay, I still didn't think anything of it. So I paid for my stuff, and we were walking out. And then all of a sudden I hear the mother, she started laughing really loud. And I looked back and she said, "What are you looking at?" And so I was like, why?
Make sure you tell me exactly what you said, because even if you said something disrespectful at the time, I want to hear the truth. Do you understand? Okay.
And I said, "Why do you guys have to talk about me? We didn't do anything to you." And then she started getting really loud, just their hands up and everything. And then they started walking to us, and me and my cousin we walked back.
Walked back towards them.
Walked back towards the counter, got back into the store.
Why didn't you just keep going?
Because both times I didn't think anything of it, and there were so many people in the store, and I was like, why? We didn't do anything. Why are we being humiliated? So,
you're right.
So I was like, no, I have to say something.
So what'd you say?
I told him, I said, why are you talking about us? We didn't do anything to you.
What was wrong with her makeup that day?
I didn't say nothing about it. I didn't say anything about it.
What did you say?
No, because me and him was having a conversation.
What did you say?
Nothing.
What were you and Cornell having a conversation about?
A movie, Medea.
A movie, Medea?
Yes.
What was the movie Medea about? Even she can't keep her mouth straight. Look at her. She can't stop from smiling. Do you understand?
Yes.
Right?
No.
Why do you think all this problem started, young lady?
I don't know. Me and my cousin were just having a conversation about the movie, and I guess she thought we was talking about her.
And what did she say to you?
So she turned around and I guess she asked her cousin if is that a he, she, is that a girl or a boy? And Cornell, my cousin, turned around and said, "What happened?" She was like, "I wasn't talking to you." So me and him went back to our conversation, and I guess they walked to the counter. That's when my mom came over there. My mom walked over there, and we walked over there.
Oh, walked over where?
To the counter. And as we was walking to the counter, they was leaving, and they turned around and they mugged my mom. My mom asked them.
What do you mean they mugged your mom?
Like, gave her a crazy look.
Show me how they did that.
She was like, they just turned around and looked at her like this.
You mean like this? Is that what you're doing? Yeah. So
and
they turned around and gave your mom a look.
And my mom was like, "Do you guys have a problem?" And she was like, "Well, yo, she's over there talking about it." My mom said, "What he, she? This is my daughter and my nephew." So she said, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "Well, they over there talking about us and we ain't saying nothing to them." My mom's like...
So this young lady said, "Why are they talking about us? We didn't say anything to them." That's what she said to your mom. Is that right?
Yes.
What happened next?
So after she asked her, my mom was like, "Well, nobody was talking about you. They was talking to each other and they was talking to me. So where did that come in that they was talking about you?" She was like, "Well, they was over there laughing and giggling and looking at me and laughing." And my mom said, "What was they talking about then?" She was like, "I assume they was talking about my makeup." And my mom was like, "Well, what's wrong with it? There must be a problem with it if they was talking about you." And the girl was like, "Well, I don't know." And that's when she started getting physical, and she started...
Tell me how she got physical.
Well, she started cussing. She was like...
She started cursing?
Yeah.
The girl, she started cursing. What did she say?
Well, she was like, "This effing over there talking about me and my cousin about our makeup." And my mom was like, "What are you talking about?" And she just kept cussing. My mom was like, "Well, do you talk to your mother with that kind of mouth?" And the girl was like, "No." She was like, "Well, if I was your mother, I would have been talked to you about that mouth." And the girl was like, "Well, you're not my mother." And she called my mom a B. And that's when we walked in. My mom told us to stand back because there's no problem.
Go ahead.
So the girl, she was like, "Well, yo, she," and that's when they walked towards us. And me and my cousin was standing next to my mom. The girl had walked towards us, and she was like, "Well, y'all was over there talking about me and my makeup." And we was like, "No, we wasn't." And then the girl came up to my cousin, and the girl had pushed my cousin. She had given like...
Just a second. Who pushed whom?
The witness over there.
This young lady pushed somebody?
She pushed him. She gave him like a 2-finger little tap.
A 2-finger little tap?
Like when you go like this, she did it twice.
Okay, and then what happened after she gave him a 2-finger little tap?
She was like, "Well, I guess you're going to hit a girl." And he was like, "No, I'm not even tripping off of you." And she was like, "Whatever." And then that's when she had punched my cousin in the stomach. And then that's when she had rushed him. And the other girl, Erica, I guess, she had jumped in. That's when I had jumped in and tried to pull one of them off. And then that's when the girl got up and swung at me, and that's when we all started to fight.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She said, "I could say what I want to say. I say, if I was your mother, I would whoop you because you're disrespectful right now." She said, "I ain't disrespectful."
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Erica Mandair says Lavinia Kennard, Brittany Williams, and Cornell Martin owe for an assault at a mall. Erica says Brittany and Cornell were making fun of her makeup.
Up here. Did you punch him?
No.
Did you two-finger him?
No.
Did you put your hands on him at all?
I put my hand like this because I knew he was going to come at me, and I didn't even touch him.
Why was he going to come at you?
Because I remember he was in my face, and I was like, "You're going to hit a girl," and he goes, "I don't care what you are." And then he just pushed me, and I fell to the ground.
Did you say that, Cornell?
No.
Well, what did you say?
She gave me the two-finger push, and I said, "Don't put your hands on me." And she said, "Oh, well, you a dude. You gonna put your hands on the female?" I was like, "No, I'm not gonna put my hand on the female." And then she pushed me back again, and then that's when she socked me in my stomach.
How did she do that?
She took her two fingers and pushed me back like this, and then she took her hand and then pushed me out of the way. And then at the time I was moving back, she socked me.
With her fist?
Yes.
Were you winded?
Yes.
Did you fall down?
No.
What happened next?
I stumbled. And then when I stumbled, the other girl rushed me into the clothes.
Where was Jennifer at the time that Erica rushed you into the clothes?
Fighting with Brittany.
Was Jennifer on the ground?
Yes.
How did Jennifer get on the ground?
Because they was fighting.
How did she get there is my question.
She got knocked to the ground.
By whom?
Brittany.
By Brittany?
Yes.
Where was your mother?
She wasn't paying attention at the time. She was paying attention, but she didn't notice the fight until after she tried to pull us off. But she couldn't break it up.
Stand up. When you came to get your daughter at the mall, did you take her for any treatment?
Yes. She was taken by ambulance to the local hospital.
Can I see the medical report? Any photographs taken of her face?
Yes, there is.
Can I see, please? Who punched you in the face?
It was Kennard and Brittany.
Why'd you punch her in the face? Why did you punch her in the face?
I didn't punch her in the face.
Who punched her in the face? Who punched her in the face?
I don't know. We was fighting, so somebody's gonna obviously. She got hit in the face as we was fighting.
Well, I'm asking you, who punched her in the face?
We don't know because we was all fighting at once, and it was a big old bunch.
Well, where are your photographs of your injuries?
I didn't have any.
We don't have none. We don't have injuries.
You want to say anything?
Yes, Your Honor.
First, I have a couple of questions for you. You take 3 children. Are these 3 children you took to the mall?
Yes.
Why aren't you properly supervising them?
Your Honor, they was properly supervised.
No, they weren't. They were properly supervised. They wouldn't have been involved in an assault.
The way the little girl's saying it is not the way she was performing. The performance of these 2 young girls, I had these 2 sitting on the bench. I had my 11-year-old standing in line while I looked at a purse.
They were on their way out the store.
They was not, Your Honor. They lying.
Really? Where were they when this took place?
When they was at the cash register paying for their stuff. As I'm walking up to it, they turns around. This is the cash register. They turns around, both of them, and mad dogs me as the mother.
What's mad dog? What does that mean?
That means like they looking at you, they staring you up and down, just, you know, like,
yes.
you know, they finna beat you up. That's how the looks both of them gave me. So when I walk up, I look over my shoulder, I look around me. I'm like, what? You tell them MFs, the he-she's, quit talking about me. She's in my face. Okay. I'm at the register. I'm walking up now to this.
Right. Okay.
So I'm like, they talk about Jesus Christ. I mean, so what did they say about you? She couldn't tell me what they said about them. She was abusing me like I was in it. She cussing at me. She talking crap to me and disrespecting me. And I asked her, do your mother allow you to talk like that to an adult? She said, I could say what I want to say. I said, if I was your mother, I would whoop you because you disrespectful right now. She said, I ain't disrespectful. Excuse my language. And she called me a B. And so that's when them 2 came up and they said, don't talk about my mother and my auntie. So I pushed them back. And next thing I know, the young girl over there, she's flinching at him. She's standing at his face like, what? You know, she flinching. And then she took him and pushed his shoulders, and then she took her fist and she hit him. He fell back into the clothes. By the time I'm over here to get these two breaking up, the other two start fighting. So when I get through breaking these, get ready to break these, he come around to get her off of the other one. They never stopped. They just kept going at it with him. So when I finally got them both apart, she had a purse laying there with money. I picked her purse and her money up and gave it to the lady at the register. She said she's gonna call the police. I said, we're gonna stand here till you call the police until they come.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Erica Mandair claims Lavinia Kennard, Brittany Williams, and Cornell Martin attacked her while she was shopping at the mall.
Let me see the police report, please.
And Your Honor, I couldn't even get one. They told me I wasn't allowed to get a police report if there was minors.
I was, Your Honor, okay.
Well, Miss Kennard, there is a witness in the store who told the police that there was a fight. And this witness, not you, not any one of these people, but this witness who was just in the store, the witness said she heard you tell your daughter and your nephew to fight them.
Your Honor, I didn't do that.
Okay.
That's the honest God truth.
Okay. Would be a fair statement at the end of the police investigation, after speaking to witnesses and you, that the two of you were cited for fighting in a public place. Is that correct?
Yes. No, they had cited all four of them, Your Honor.
You two girls cited? Mm-hmm. But what happened with those cases?
We went to a aware witness.
Anger management is what?
See, they didn't get anger management. They got a aware witness where they had to go for 2 hours, and I sit there with them and pay $10 and letting them know they can't fight in public and letting them know how it is.
And what did you have to do?
An anger management class.
Same thing?
I didn't. She did.
She didn't get anything.
Why do you think that is?
Why what?
Well, she had to go to an anger management program.
She didn't go to it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Fighting in public, anger management, whatever it is.
All
And
right.
he did. And Jennifer did. But not her.
My thing was, to me, Your Honor, the girls started it first. So they hit first. They could have paid for this.
No, she didn't hit anybody first.
Yeah, they both
no,
hit.
no. That's not true. She didn't hit anybody first. Jennifer may have put her hands on Cornell. She didn't hit anybody first.
She hit her. Her and Brittany fought.
I don't believe she hit somebody first. You didn't handle, listen, their mother wasn't there.
She came in like them fighting, cussing me out, calling me B. She ran up in there talking about who did it, who effing did this stuff. I'm gonna kick their butt. Her husband, her sister, her brothers, they all was threatening us.
You're not following me.
Well, you said they didn't hit you, on, and I was there.
I said the mother wasn't there when this incident happened. You were the responsible adult.
Yes,
it was your job to ensure that if one of these girls looked at you, and they looked at you, as you said, with attitude, that you just say, forget about it. Nothing. Well, you told me the story, man. I listened to your story.
It wasn't so much of them looking at me with attitude, Your Honor. They was being disrespectful. They was standing there mugging me.
You're not getting it. You're the grown-up. If they're not acting appropriately, and I believe that they weren't.
It wasn't them even saying anything. The little young one said to her sister and her cousin, she said, they eyebrow. We found out at the end. The police, everybody found out at the end that the 11-year-old, the one who said, look at her eyebrows, Brittany.
Just a second. So let me ask you this question. Now you're getting down to it.
Yeah, because she's the last one.
Stop speaking! So it wasn't your older daughter, it was your younger daughter.
Yes. The younger daughter made a comment, Your Honor, about, but they didn't even hear the comment.
Oh, listen. They should have sent you to some sort of parenting class. You're the one responsible to take care of the children who are in your care, madam.
Well, I thought I was doing that.
Well, you weren't. Because when you said nothing happened, they weren't talking about her makeup. They weren't saying anything. That's what I'm speaking. So it wasn't them, it was Miss Smarty Pants. But they had a legitimate complaint because she was being mocked by somebody in your charge. So instead of not confronting it, instead of not removing actions that could possibly result in an assault, you decided to confront them. And I'm telling you, you didn't do...
Your Honor, do you know when we learned about this little girl said something after these kids then fought and everything was over with? Then she spoke up and said, Mama, I'm the one who said something about her elbow. You know, everything was done. They already had the fight. And this one told it.
She's not getting it.
I guess I'm not then, Your Honor.
You're not getting it.
Because I'm a very good mother.
You're not getting it. When you started to tell me your story, you and your daughter and your nephew, you all conveniently left out the fact that these young ladies, you can sit down, Jennifer, that this young lady told me the truth when she said that somebody was making fun of her makeup and laughing. And just because it was this daughter instead of this daughter, that doesn't make it any less true.
It don't.
Now, that doesn't mean that you're not supposed to do the smart thing. If you're dealing with a situation where it's getting clearly out of control, you just pay for your stuff and move out of the store. You understand? Mm-hmm. They behaved inappropriately. The mother behaved inappropriately. Smarty Pants behaved inappropriately. They behaved inappropriately. So did you. You just should have left. But you were injured. Mm. She was responsible to take care of her children. All of her children, not just the older one, the younger one too. And you didn't do that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Your Honor, case number 245 on the calendar in the matter of Tieran versus Rawlins. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Ms. Tieran, Ms. Rawlins is or was married to your grandson.
Right.
And according to your complaint, she and your grandson lived with you for a period of time.
Yes.
And then they separated. She left.
Yes.
So far, is that correct?
Majority of it.
What's wrong with what I said?
We did live with her and everything, but my husband asked me to leave.
Well, you separated. That means you did separate.
Yes, and we are still married.
They separated.
Yes.
She left.
Yes.
And then you claim that she came back to get some of her property.
Yes, twice.
When she came back to get her property, there was an altercation involving you, as a result of which you broke your wrist in 4 places.
Yes.
And the defendant also took some property of yours.
Yes.
The defendant says you fell, she had nothing to do with breaking your wrist, and she has no property of yours. Is that right?
The only property I have of hers is this bag that she asked for. And I've been asked
Anything
my
in the
husband to
bag?
come get it. I have no idea. I've never opened it.
Can I get the bag?
It wasn't mine. I put it off to the side.
Okay. Let's see what's contained in the bag. And then we'll get to this altercation. Well, one of the things you said she took was a camera.
Right.
Is that right? This looks like a camera case. And there's a camera in here.
Yes.
Okay. And a couple of other rods and ends, but I assume that this is the majority of what you're asking for back.
Yes, it looks like.
Okay, good. So let's give this back to the plaintiff, please. So then we're just going to deal with this injury to your arm and this assault. A few questions. What date did your husband ask you to leave?
June 29th.
How long had you been living with the plaintiff?
We moved in there July 5th, 5 days after we were married.
Of the previous year?
Mm-hmm.
So you were there almost a year?
Almost a year.
And who moved in? You, your husband, and you have a child?
Yes.
How old is your child?
She's 5.
But she's not the child of this marriage?
No, she's not.
Now, when your husband asked you to leave, did he ask you to leave on the 29th of June?
Yes, he did.
So you must have had an argument.
I'm not really sure. He was been very stressed lately and said he needed some time and asked me to leave, and so
And you
I
did. When he asked you to leave, did you give him your key?
No, from my understanding, he just needed time. He just needed a little space.
And what did you tell Miss Taryn when you left?
I did not speak to any of them.
Really? I mean, you
Yeah.
lived with the lady for a year. You didn't have any conversation with her at all?
No, my husband asked me to leave, and I grabbed my daughter and a couple things, and we left. I figured I was coming home that night.
But you didn't come home that night?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I said he needed more time.
Now, when was this incident when you did, in fact, return, and there was an incident involving Miss Taryn and her wrist?
That was the first time I spoke to her. That was August 2nd.
Tell me about it.
We arrived at the house.
Who's we?
Me, my couple family members, my friends.
How many people arrived in the house?
In the house there was 9 total, I believe.
That you brought with you?
Yes, to move my things out. I had not spoken to my husband, refusing contact. I figured...
He refused contact?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I figured my daughter's going to be starting school. I need more of her things, and I also needed more clothes. And so we went to go get my things, and upon arriving, found all of them packed up and shoved into one little room of the house.
How did you get into the house?
With the key.
The key that you had?
Yes.
Didn't it occur to you to call Miss Tarrant first and say, we're coming over to get my things?
Well, my things were there. My husband and I are still married. That is also my husband's home.
Does this home belong to whom?
Both her and my husband.
It's my home, but I put my grandson's name on it for when something happens to me, he'd be able to sell it.
When you met your husband, where was he living?
In an apartment.
In an apartment?
Yes, because he didn't want to live with his grandmother anymore.
Fine. But at some point you moved in with her?
Yes.
So you and your husband moved into her home?
Correct.
So it didn't occur to you, Miss Rawlins, to pick up the phone as a human being and say to her, I'm coming with 9 people to your house to get my property? Is that time okay for you? Is that day okay for you? I haven't been there in over a month. That strike you as something that would have been a nice thing to do?
Well, every time I called the home or whatever, I was usually hung up on. So I did not have that opportunity.
Did you ever speak to her?
No.
Well, your husband works. Is that
correct?
True? Did you
and that's why we went during the day, because I knew he would be gone and she would be there. She usually never leaves the home.
Good, so that you knew that she would be there. Why didn't you call her first and say, we're coming over to pick up my stuff? Is today a good time for you?
Because it was a good time for me and I was just going to go get my things.
Well, you got a lot of nerve. You got a lot of nerve. The lady takes you into her home with a child that's totally unrelated to her. You stay there for a year. You and your husband have some sort of a falling out, and I don't even want to get into that because I have no idea what it's about. But you're gone for well over a month. You don't come by yourself to pick up a few little things. You come with 9 people invading her house without so much as a telephone call first, and you expect her not to get agitated?
No, I understood why she was agitated.
You did?
But I also felt, that, and she said herself that I was there to pick up my things.
But you understood she was agitated because 9 people invaded her house.
Oh, no, when she got there, none of us were in there, except for the minister's wife, who was keeping her dogs under control so they didn't get loose.
Tell me how you broke your wrist.
After I came home and seen everything was in the trucks, I seen some things out in the truck that my grandson told me not to let her take. And so I was walking out toward the trucks. She grabbed a hold of my arm, and I have osteoarthritis, so I'm not really that stable. That's why I can't run. I have to walk slowly. And as she grabbed my arm and turned me around, I fell. And I went down on my right wrist.
You have the medical records?
Yes, I do.
Can I see them, please?
Can I get help? Because she has everything.
Sure.
What's that? Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to hear your version of what happened, how her wrist got broken.
I'm assuming her wrist got broken when she fell.
Yeah.
There was trucks and cars and everything in the driveway and so on. We were moving out. And she came out of the back porch door and started yelling. And then she had noticed a vacuum cleaner that was in the back of my stepfather's truck, which was parked out on the road. And she just said, "You're not taking that vacuum," and started running. And right about the part where the grass and the sidewalk meet, there's holes and everything in that yard, and I'm assuming she fell. I was pushing a lawnmower in the driveway at the time and walked over there to help her. Said, "Grandma, look what you did," and tried to help her up. And that was when she proceeded to throw the phone that she had in her hand at me, and I decided to walk away.
Good, you're responsible for her broken wrist. I don't care whose version of the events is accurate.
How is
I don't
that?
care whether you held her and twisted her around, or she fell when she was running after one of the trucks that you brought with you. You're responsible. You created the situation by not making a prior arrangement with her and invading her home with 9 people who were uninvited to her home to clean.
They knew I was coming.
Who's they?
They all did. They packed up my things. They were waiting for me to come get my things.
On that day?
I didn't even know my things were packed up. They assumed.
Listen, don't be a swift talker. You understand exactly what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you is they had packed up your things, put them away in an orderly way. You said in one corner of a room. That's what you told me.
It was all shoved into one room.
That's fine, shoved into one room. It was all packed up. She was expecting a telephone call from you to say, "Grandma, can I come over on the 2nd of August to pick up my things? Is that okay with you?" Sure. You're going to bring people? Yes, I'm going to bring 9 people with me to your house. 9 people to help me move. Because I know you're going to be alone that day, because I know he's working. So I'm going to come with 9 people, some of whom you know, some of whom you don't know. We're going to come into your house. I just want you to be alert to that so that you don't get frightened, you don't get scared. You did none of that. You just went when it suited you. Didn't suit you to go on August 1st. It didn't suit you to go on July 29th. It didn't suit you to go on July 28th. Suited you to go on August 2nd. Maybe it didn't suit her for you to go. Maybe she was having a bar mitzvah for somebody in her house on August 2nd. And it wouldn't be convenient for her, for you to be removing stuff with 9 trucks. So you are responsible. Because if she got agitated because you hadn't made arrangements for an orderly transition.
But that was still considered my home.
It is not. No way. No way is it your home. You abandoned your home. You abandoned her home.
I did not abandon the home.
Oh, yes, you did. You abandoned the home. You were gone for 32 days, according to you, and decided that would be a good day for you to come and retrieve your property. And you and your husband moved into her home. He didn't live there when you got married. You said he lived in an apartment. And the two of you moved in, maybe because his apartment was unsuitable for you and your child. But you moved into Grandma's house.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
he promised to pay me back. But then he comes over to my place and he goes, Janice, just consider yourself a $5,000 hooker.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carol Tarrant says her granddaughter-in-law, Stacy Rollins, owes for breaking her wrist and stealing her property. Stacy says Carol's injuries are her own fault.
You moved in to her house, and you knew it was her house. So you're responsible for her injuries. Got a lot of nerve. Do you have any medical coverage for these bills?
Medicare paid most of it.
Okay, so you're really suing for pain and suffering.
Well, I have a $9,000 hospital bill that they didn't cover.
Really?
Yes.
Why not?
They paid $2,000 of it.
And they didn't cover $9?
No.
And you still have the house in your name?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's a problem. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested, $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I knew that Judge Judy would get the truth.
I guess she just got what she wanted, like she usually does.
I don't know what I could have done. I had the phone in my hand. I guess I should have called the police as I was walking out.
There was no settling outside the courtroom with this family.
It was very frustrating.
She's playing this little innocent act in front of the judge of an elderly lady, and she's not.
I was so upset when I came to her home.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Christmas, Bradley versus Davis. Step forward, please.
16-year-old student Nicole Christmas and her mother, administrative assistant Annette Bradley, are suing Nicole's ex-boyfriend, 20-year-old business owner James Davis, for money she put towards the purchase of a vehicle. Nicole says when they broke up, James took the car.
All right, who's Christmas and who's Bradley?
I'm Christmas.
What's your first name?
Nicole.
Mrs. Bradley, this is your daughter?
Yes, it is.
And this used to be her boyfriend?
Yes, correct.
She's 16?
Yes.
You are?
20.
20. You claim that your daughter gave him $600 towards a car that he allegedly purchased for her.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
He says she never gave him $600. The car is his. It's always been his. Somehow the police became involved in this thing, and he's going to tell me how. How long was he your boyfriend?
Like 3 or 4 months.
And tell me about this car, Nicole.
He purchased a car for me on my birthday. It was for my 16th birthday. He didn't have enough money to pay for it, all the car, so I told him I'd put $600 in on the car.
Where'd you get the $600 from?
My bank. I work.
You took out $600?
Yes, I did.
Let me see.
I don't have any bank receipts.
Why didn't you bring to court a receipt?
I didn't save my bank receipts.
You don't have to save your bank receipts. You get a statement at the end
of
the month.
I didn't save it at all.
Your Honor, may I say something?
In a minute, in a second. What kind of a car did he buy?
A white Ford Escort. I think it was a 93.
And who used the car?
I never got to use it because I didn't get my license until my 16th birthday.
Go ahead.
We broke up 2 days after my 16th birthday. Neither of us knew how to drive the car. It was a stick. And my mom was going to teach me.
Where was the car? At whose house?
It was at my house.
Now tell me how the police became involved in this whole thing.
I was at work. I guess he came to my house. We had broken up that morning. He came to my house.
What did he say when he came to the house?
He came to the front door, and he had a friend with him because I assumed it was because he couldn't drive the car. He needed someone that knew how to drive the stick. And he said, Miss Bradley, basically I'm here to tell you that you're responsible for the breaking up of Nicole and I, and I'm here to take the car. I said, well, you know, I've learned from Nicole now that she also put money in on this car, and so you'll need to call the police unless you're ready to give her back her money. And I closed the door, and he called the police. And that's why the police got involved. Once they got there, he brought out a receipt for $400, and he told the police officer that He had paid $400 of his own money for this car, and the policeman came back in the home and spoke with Nicole, and she provided him the name and number for the person that they bought the car from. And that woman told the police, no, they both purchased the car. He talked me into giving a receipt for $400 for tax purposes only, but the truth is that they paid this much money for the car, and $600 of it was Nicole's. At that time, the police asked James why he'd initially lied and had him sign a statement promising to repay Nicole $600 within 60 days. And
May
James
I see the
did
note,
sign it.
please?
Yes.
How much did you pay for the car, sir?
$1,400, ma'am.
Okay, where did you get the money from?
I had a pretty good job working for my dad. I made about $800 to $900 a week.
So where did you get this $1,400 from the bank?
No, I saved up for 2 weeks in cash.
Why would you think Nicole would say that she put in $600 towards the car?
Basically, Your Honor, I don't think it was Nicole at all. I think it was her mother. Her mother has been trying to get money out of me for the whole duration of me going out with her daughter. She wanted money for bills. She wanted money for everything. And basically, she's just trying to get more money out of me.
Why would you sign this thing, sir?
Your Honor, I signed that contract under duress. This is how the police got involved. I filled out a stolen car report.
Why did you fill out a stolen car report?
Because they had my car and they wouldn't give it back. It was locked in their garage.
Did you buy this car for her birthday?
No, I did not. For her birthday, I got her 2 dresses.
The car was purchased by both James Davis and Nicole Christmas. Mr. Davis has registered the car in his name, although he claims to have purchased the car for Nicole's birthday.
No, I did not claim that.
The officer wrote this out, right?
Yes.
Why was the car at her house?
Because I let her borrow it. I was driving a brand new car. I had to pay that, and the only reason why I bought the car is for when I go back to college, that's what I was going to drive.
Why was the car at her house?
I let her borrow it.
She couldn't drive it.
Her mother wanted to borrow it.
Your Honor, I have
her and her mother wanted to borrow it.
You bought the car and you said to her, this is for your 16th birthday. Mr. Davis, duress or not, you signed the note in the presence of the police officer who also signed the note that you would pay her within 60 days of the date of this, which is 7/26/01, the sum of $600, and you haven't paid it.
No. Basically, they've been harassing me for about 1.5 years now over that money, and the proof that I have that I don't have, that I should not be able to pay her, is she left a phone message on my answering machine. My mom heard it, and she basically said that if I don't get such and such amount of money that she was going to...
Just a second. Do you have that?
No, I don't, but I do have a written statement from my mom.
No.
That's all I have.
Machine, tape. That's very easy. I hear those all the time.
Well, at the time, I was in college. They couldn't get a hold of me, and they left it at my home. And
Mr. Davis.
My mom heard the answering
Mr.
machine.
Davis, is your mom here?
No, she's just started a new job, ma'am.
Mr. Davis.
All she could do was sign something.
You signed a statement in the presence of an officer that you would pay her within 60 days the sum of $600. That was in order for you to get your car back. Is that right?
Yes. He said he...
Right. That's what you signed it for. In order for you to get your car back, the officer said, she says you owe $600. You want your car back today? Give her back her $600, or tell her when you'll give her back her $600. If not, I'm just going to leave the status quo and you can go fight this out in court.
Ma'am, he directly told me if I do not sign the contract, I will not get my car back. And
That's not true, Mr. Davis.
That's what he told me.
No, he said you wouldn't get your car back that day. That day, then you go to small claims court and you sue her.
I was moving into my apartment in San Francisco and I needed my car. That's the only reason why I signed it.
Just a second. Did you come with a friend?
Yes, I did.
Is the friend somebody who could drive a stick shift?
Yes.
Why did you bring a friend?
Because I was going to get my car back. He was moving into the apartment with me.
Just
I was
a
his
minute.
roommate.
You brought the friend because he knew how to drive a stick shift.
Yes.
And you did not.
Yes.
So you couldn't move into your apartment in San Francisco with this car because you didn't know how to drive it.
He was going to teach me how to drive it, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's...
Your Honor, case number 89 on the calendar in the matter of Pinedo versus Burke.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Pinedo, you and the defendant lived together for a brief period of time.
Yes.
You also have a child together.
Yes.
And when you separated, it is your claim that the defendant kept some property that is rightfully yours.
Yes.
The defendant says that when you separated, you split the property. You took some, he kept some, and everything was split fairly. When did you start to live together?
We started living together in May.
In May of 2001.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have a baby.
Yes.
When was he born?
February 1st of 2002.
And when did you and the defendant cease living together?
July of 2001.
So you were a few months pregnant at that point.
I found out I was pregnant at the end of June. On July 13th, I found out I was about 6.5 weeks pregnant. That was my first ultrasound.
Okay. Now, what is it that you claim Mr. Burke has that belongs to you?
I had purchased a PlayStation 2 with about $300-400 worth of games, with a console, an extra controller, an entertainment center.
PlayStation. Very important for people who are expecting a child. What else did you purchase?
We purchased an entertainment center. I had purchased an entertainment center.
Now, that's a very interesting word that you used, Ms. Pineda. You said we purchased
Well,
an entertainment center.
Yes, I understand that. It was on my credit card, on my Best Buy account.
And those are the two things, entertainment center and a PlayStation. And
There's
games.
There's other things.
Like what?
I had purchased a car stereo for a car that I had purchased because Travis didn't have a car. So it was too hard for me to get up and have to take him to work and then have to go to work as well.
Yeah. So?
So I purchased a car and I had put a new stereo and speakers in it.
So?
And when we had broken up, I had asked him for the car back, and he refused to give me the car back. I had reported the car stolen, and then he went ahead and returned the car because he knew I had reported the car stolen. And when he had returned the car stripped of the stereo, stripped of the speakers, and had locked all the doors, didn't leave me with a key, and I had to pay $150 to have a key made for the car.
Now, what else was purchased that you did, in fact, take with you when you separated? Because that's his defense.
Right. Well, everything else that I had taken with me, I had already had when we moved in together. I had my computer desk with my computer and my bed.
What did he purchase?
He didn't purchase anything for the apartment.
Well,
he came to the apartment with a couch.
Mr. Burke, you say she got the TV and the DVD player.
That's stuff we had bought together.
Did you take a TV and a DVD player?
Yes, ma'am.
You did?
Yes.
Who purchased that?
I did.
You mean you put it on your credit card?
Yes, ma'am.
Who paid for it?
I'm still paying for it to this day.
And you mean he contributed nothing
No.
to the TV and the DVD player?
No, I've made all the payments on my credit cards.
In what month were they purchased?
To be honest with you, I don't remember. They're on the receipts. The dates are on the
Prior
receipts.
to moving into the apartment together, we went shopping. She did have a Best Buy card. We bought a refrigerator, TV. She had bought me a DVD player before. The stereo and everything for the car, all gifts, PlayStation 2. There wasn't $400 worth of games. All that stuff was considered gifts.
Bull!
The stuff for the apartment wasn't gifts, but the other stuff, personal items to me. Why does she need to buy a stereo for me?
Just a second. Are you playing with me or what?
No.
All right. A refrigerator isn't a gift.
I said the stuff for the apartment was not considered a gift. Okay.
PlayStation is for the apartment. An entertainment center is for the apartment. A TV is for the apartment. A DVD player is for the apartment. When you talk about personal gifts for you, you're talking about underwear. There's a difference between underwear
Maybe
or
that's
a belt
what you buy
or
your
socks.
husband, but that's not what she buys me.
Well, maybe not. How much you pay in child support?
$380 a month.
Since when?
Since the judgment was last month.
The judgment was made on May 2nd, Your Honor, and there has not even been one check that I have received yet. I had called his work this week, and they said that they would be taking the first payment out today.
So far you haven't paid anything?
No, that's the wrong.
No, he has paid when the baby was first born. Before we went to court, he did pay when he felt like paying.
Okay. Let me see your bills. I want to know what you took out. You took the TV?
Yes.
You took the DVD player?
Yes, ma'am.
You left him the refrigerator?
I did not leave him the refrigerator. When I moved out, I only had 2 friends and my mother to help me.
No, I'm asking you. You bought a refrigerator that stayed in the apartment?
Yes, it had stayed in the apartment because I couldn't move it. When I came back to move it, it was gone.
Why were you going to move it?
Because I was moving out. 2 days after we broke up, I was driving to go get my oil change, which was...
Listen to me. Was he working at the time that you were living together?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were working?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I now lay gas lines for
What were you doing then?
Working in a machine shop.
Okay, and what kind of work were you doing?
I'm a pharmacy technician.
Okay, were you earning similar money?
I was earning double to what he was earning.
And were you putting all your money into the bank? Into a joint account? You had a joint account?
No, we did not have a joint account.
How did you work out the bills?
He paid half, I paid half.
Half the credit card bills?
Half the credit card bills he never paid.
Half the credit card bills have been run up on plastic surgery and other items for herself before we were together.
I'm talking about after you were together. I'm talking about how much money you gave her.
When those bills came, I paid half of them.
He paid half the utilities and half the rent.
Do you have any checks with you to show me that you paid?
No, it was a cash transaction. I didn't know this was going to come to this a year later.
Right.
You know, we were together, and that's how relationships work.
Right. And all of this stuff was purchased at the time that you were living together?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what did you leave with?
When I left...
TV, VCR.
Yes.
What else?
The DVD player.
DVD. What else?
My bed. My dresser.
Were those things that were purchased?
Those were things that were purchased before we were even together.
I'm not talking about those things. The TV, VCR, and DVD player you purchased when you moved in.
No, the DVD player and the TV were purchased while we moved in.
Okay. What else did you leave with?
That was all that I left with while we were living together.
Okay.
That was purchased while we were living together.
Okay. Plus a PlayStation,
Yes.
a refrigerator,
Yes, ma'am.
and what else did you get? You say you got?
Entertainment center.
Entertainment center.
Okay.
The car stereo.
Forget the car stereo. Listen, if you had to buy a car, you didn't have to put an expensive stereo. Didn't it come with a radio?
Yes,
What
it
radio?
had the stock
AM,
stereo.
FM radio. Turn it on, you hum along.
He asked me
with your
if I
bills, with your bills, you don't need a stereo, and I'm not entertaining stupidity.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She made a comment the other day, you know, I bought these things for you to try and make you happy when I was with you. Why would you say that if you wanted them all back? She bought them for me. It's a gift.
And later today,
I bought a bag, put horse manure in it. I did see her car, and I shook the horse manure onto the trunk of the car, and I got in my car, and I drove away.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jessica Pinedo says the father of her baby, Travis Burke, stole her personal belongings.
Okay. Now, I want you to tell me how much the TV and the DVD player were.
The TV was about $500, and the DVD player was $189.
And the PlayStation?
I believe the receipt's in there.
PlayStation?
$300.
Refrigerator?
Was $542, I believe.
And the entertainment center?
Was $130.
You sure about all those figures?
It's all in the receipts. It came to $129.99, I believe.
Okay. And the VCR you say you had before?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So $500 plus $189, $689. That's the property you got. You got PlayStation and the games, plus $542 plus $130. $972. So let's say all these bills were paid. She got $689 worth of merchandise. You got $972 worth of merchandise. The only problem is she's still paying off the credit card. How much are you paying off on the credit card?
I had to get a bill consolidator because I had to go on disability because I almost lost our son twice. So I have a debt consolidator that pays approximately $10, $24, depending on who the creditor is, and then they automatically take something out of my account.
Well, it's clear that you only lived together for 2 months, so these bills could not have been paid off in 2 months on all the things that you bought. Is that right?
That's correct.
Total is $1,661 for all the items together.
You know, she made a comment the other day, you know, I bought these things for you to try and make you happy when I was with you. Why would you say that if you wanted them all back? She bought them for me. It's a gift.
Where is the PlayStation?
At my house.
And the refrigerator?
At my brother's house.
At your brother's house. What's it doing at your brother's house?
His garage. He needed a refrigerator in there.
Do you have a refrigerator?
But we have to rent one, Your Honor.
Good. What about the entertainment center?
I don't know where that is.
He sold it.
I've moved a couple of times. It
was only worth $130 anyway.
It was
right?
nothing big.
Right?
Yeah.
I just changed my mind about the money. Court will draft an order that within 5 days you are to deliver to her home the PlayStation and all the games, as well as the refrigerator that you get back from your brother within 5 days of this order. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
That way she's paying for it and she has the use of it. Clear? Perfect. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Don't get mixed up with this one because she'll screw you over bad.
He's done a lot of bad things to me. He's cheated on me.
It's an ongoing battle.
Now we have a child together, so I'm just doing the best I can.
If it isn't with my son, it's something else.
And I've taken him back every single time.
She won't go get a job. She won't go do anything to better herself.
I've done, as best as I can with what's been dealt to me.
We've tried to work things out for a year now, off and on.
I hope that we can get along for our son.
Nothing but friends so that my son will see a nice, loving environment.
Up on the calendar in the matter of Eskridge versus Curl. Parties are sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
Miss Eskridge, you claim 2 things in your lawsuit. First, you claim a couple of small loans to the defendant to help him out with rent and stuff. And you were his girlfriend, according to you. And then you say that at a party, he became enraged about something, threw something at you, and cracked your head open. Mm-hmm. Your head had to be stapled together. You want him to pay for
your medical bills, your pain and suffering. Mr. Curl says he has the clue as to what you're talking about. How do you know him?
In November, my neighbor called me, and she told me that him and his girlfriend have an apartment underneath me, that his girlfriend had kicked him and his 4-year-old out at 4 o'clock in the morning, and could I help? I had previously helped her, 3 other people, referring them to the manager. She's my friend, to get apartments, so she knew that I would help. He was staying with my friend's house. I gave her like $60 for rent for him and his baby to stay.
For him?
Mm-hmm, and his little girl to stay.
Okay.
But anyway, after that, in December, he got an apartment in our building. I went to the manager and begged for this apartment.
Okay, and what other money did you give him?
$65 for food one time, $100. He broke out his girlfriend's windows in her apartment on New Year's Eve because she was in the house with one of his friends, and he busted out all the windows, and they were going to evict him. So he asked me, could I help again? Because he was going through a custody thing with this baby, and me and her just hit it off right away, this little girl. I said, yeah. I gave him $100.
Did he ever say anything about repaying this money to you?
Yes, ma'am. He told me as soon as he got through with the custody stuff, on which would be the 16th of May, with his daughter, he would start paying me back this money.
Now tell me what happened with the assault, Miss Eskridge.
He was having a get-together, and I thought it was kind of rude since I helped him out that he didn't invite me. I went to the balcony.
Were you dating him at the time?
Yes, he started wanting me to date him as I was helping him.
Well, did you date him?
Yes, I did, yes.
For how long?
Up until...
how many weeks did you date him?
About 8.
8 weeks. Okay, so you dated him for 8 weeks, and then he had a party and he didn't invite you.
Mm-hmm.
So you went to the balcony of your apartment or his apartment?
His.
So you went to the party even though you weren't invited?
I went to the balcony. I didn't go inside. I didn't go inside. I just went to the balcony. He was standing out there just to talk to him.
And what happened?
I asked him something. We started arguing. Next thing I know, looked down. He had something in his hand. But as soon as I saw it in his hand, I was hit and bleeding. That's how quick it was.
And what happened as a result of that injury?
I had to have my head stapled. They stapled my head together.
You have the medical records? Can
Yes,
I
ma'am.
see them, please? Did you file a police report?
No, because I was afraid that with the custody stuff, I didn't go to the hospital till the 15th. It happened around the 13th. I was scared. He wanted me to leave with him after he hit me. He was scared, I was scared. He wanted me to leave with him. He took me to his friend's house, and his wife looked at my head. I didn't know if the police was going to come and take his daughter away. I was so close to her, attached to her, I was scared. But after 2 days, I was in so much pain, I had to go to the hospital.
So you didn't go to the hospital for 2 days?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Miss Eskridge, can you tell me who these people are?
My son and my dad.
Were either one of them present when you were assaulted?
Yes, my son.
Okay, step up here. Tell me your name.
Jerome Messenberg.
Jerome, do you live with your mom?
Yes.
Who else lives there?
My sisters and my brothers.
I have 6 kids.
Do you know Mr. Curl?
Yes.
Have you ever seen him in your home?
No.
He's never been to your home as far as you know?
No.
Tell me what you saw on the day that your mother was injured.
I was outside with 2 of my brothers, and my mom was standing by the balcony. I don't know what she was doing, and then I seen something hit her in the head, but I thought nothing of it because the way it bounced off, and it looked like a rubber ball, like it could be a rubber ball or something soft, so the way it bounced off.
Did you see which direction it was thrown from?
It came from inside of his curtains, inside of his house.
Did you ever see what it was?
No.
You never saw what it was?
His nephew told me, a lot of people in the building told me what he threw.
Well, you can't tell me what anybody else
I didn't
said
see it.
to
I
you.
just seen something in his hand, and
Okay.
I didn't know what it was.
All right, Mr. Curl, let me hear from you, sir. Tell me about this party that you had in your house.
I had like a little get-together, but no, she wasn't invited. Because for one reason, she wasn't my girlfriend, and my girlfriend stayed in the next apartment. And then, but she was a friend, and yes, me and my girlfriend, yeah, we had a little misunderstanding, but she done a little things for me, but I know it was a loan. She never told me it was a loan.
Did she give you any money, sir?
She gave me like a little change. Here you go.
No, I'm not talking about change. $60, $100?
No. She bought me like
Probably some like McDonald's for me and my daughter.
What about these windows that got broken out, sir? You want to tell
okay.
me about that?
Yes, I will. Yes.
Look at me and tell me.
That was a case that happened, and they found out that it wasn't none of me. It was a friend of mine that did that to my fiance's windows, and that's
a friend of yours?
Yes, a friend of mine. It wasn't none of me that did that. And my fiance.
When did that happen?
In the month of December sometime.
The management company talked to you about maybe evicting you?
No, they just told me since a friend of mine's done it, I got to pay for the property. For the damages.
Right.
And which I done.
Who gave you the money?
My own money.
How would she know about that?
How would she know about that? Because she stayed right above us in the same complex.
She says that she was injured at a party in your house. You know, that's when she came and she was not invited. What do you know about that, sir?
I don't know. I don't have no idea about that. I haven't seen it. You know, she said she was on the back of my patio, and I did have some company back there, and they know how she do things. She comes around and disturb everybody.
How does she come around and disturb people?
By, you know, cussing everybody out, putting things on my doors, windows, banging on my windows early in the morning.
Like what?
Like notes.
You have any of those notes?
Antiques, yes, I do.
I'd like to see them, please. Miss Eskridge, why do you put these notes on their door?
It may not be what I put there. It doesn't look like...
Show them to her, please.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They swing. He opened the door up and the man peeked his head up. The man had no clothes on.
And later today...
I kind of went on a high-speed pursuit for a couple of cities.
Was this the first time you were arrested, Kenneth?
Correct, it was.
No, Kenneth. Don't fib to Mother Nature.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Noelle Eskridge says ex-boyfriend Jackie Curl owes for several loans. Noelle says she received staples in her head from his assault.
I'd like you to tell me why you put those notes on the door.
Okay. After I loaned him some money and went to his door and knocked on his door, I wanted to look at it and make sure it was my writing. Because the way he's sitting here lying, I wanted to make sure it was my writing. I went to his house to ask him for some of my money. It was a man inside of his house, half naked. And he opened the door up, and the man peeked his head up. The man had no clothes on. A friend of theirs, their wife, she told me to be very careful because they swing. And I was enraged because his girlfriend chased me with her girlfriends for 3 months down in a car. When I was helping his daughter in November through December for 2 months, I was chased with women and her. I couldn't figure out why, but she had women with her chasing me till people told me what they do. And I was enraged when I found out because I felt I wasn't given the choice, that I should have been told if you were these kind of people. I was enraged when I did that. I was just shocked when that man came to the door.
Miss Eskridge, do you take any medication?
No, I don't.
Currently under a doctor's care?
No.
In order to have a successful lawsuit, Miss Eskridge, you have to prove two things as far as a loan is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
You have to prove to the judge's satisfaction that there was, in fact, money turned over and that there was a contract that that money would be repaid. I don't find that here. The second thing is you claim that Mr. Curl assaulted you. Mr. Curl says he did not assault you. I have to be satisfied before I'm satisfied that someone has caused such serious physical injury that there's sufficient proof. And I don't find that there is sufficient proof that Mr. Curl, either intentionally or otherwise, caused you the injury to your head. What I do find is that I think it's a good idea that you don't have any contact with them anymore. Not leave notes on his door, not leave notes on her door, because I don't think it's good for you.
No.
I think if what you tell me is true, then you made a mistake in judgment as to someone's character.
Mm-hmm.
And you extended yourself, and you should think twice about doing it again.
Right.
Do you understand? But right now, what I think you have to do is say, you made a mistake with him, he's really not a nice person, I don't want to have anything more to do with them, with either him or with his girlfriend. I've got children that I have to take care of that rely on me, And I don't want to waste any more of my energy on this man or his girlfriend. Does that make sense to you?
It makes a whole lot of sense, you know.
Good. I'm glad.
You know, he stalks me. You know, very badly. It's bad.
Well, then what you have to do is say, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
And I'm going to move on and not have anything to do with them because I have a greater responsibility. And my great responsibility is to my children. And I have to be mentally alert and healthy for my kids. And I don't want to take anything away with people who aren't nice. So don't have anything to do with them anymore. Okay?
All right.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I just think it was outrageous because he asked me to marry him last Wednesday.
I was dealing with a woman that's kind of, you know, maybe can be fatal.
He's crazy, and he needed to pay for what he did.
Wannabe girlfriends need not to be posting notes on other women's doors and panties because they won't be so nice.
You know how many hours your mother has to work for $175?
12. A little bit more than that.
She has to work a long time to get that money, Donald. So you not only owe her an apology, you also owe your mother an apology. You start with her.
And later today,
Your son is an alcoholic. He's not providing for his family. She has a baby and 2 other children, and you're suing her for a deep freeze? Where is your
7-year-old ticketing agent Diane Michelle Carson for failure to pay for services in a custody battle. Michelle says she never hired him.
Mr. Lovell, you are an attorney.
That is correct.
And it is your claim that the defendant retained you in a custody proceeding to represent her and that she has an outstanding bill that you wanted to pay.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Carson says that she never retained you, that her mother, if anyone, retained you in this custody proceeding, and aside from that, you failed to show up in court on the day of the hearing. Is that your defense?
Yes.
I gather, Ms. Carson, that this whole case started with a custody proceeding involving your former husband some 6 or 7 years ago.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have 2 small children.
Yes.
According to what I read in your answer, you lost custody to your husband.
Yes.
And your husband remarried. And recently he was dispatched to go into active duty, leaving the 2 children with their stepmother. And it was your desire to regain custody of the children, even temporarily, while their father was in the active military, rather than leaving them with their stepmother. That's what the lawsuit was about.
Yes.
And now, Mr. Lovell, I would like you to tell me when Ms. Carson came to see you, how she was referred to you. I'd like to see the retainer agreement that she signed.
Your Honor, she came to me on or about June 18, 2002, the same date that she signed this agreement. Actually, she didn't come into my office. I gave the agreement to my secretary, one of my witnesses here, Diane Galloway, who is the mother of the defendant.
Okay, hold on a second. You took this retainer agreement, which I want to read for a second, and you gave it to your witness, who happens to be the defendant's mother.
Right, but Your Honor...
When it was returned to you, was it returned signed?
Yes.
So your conversations were primarily with her mother, who was your secretary?
That's correct.
Did you sign a retainer agreement with the plaintiff in June?
No, I did not.
Step up, please. Ms. Galloway, you worked for the plaintiff?
Yes.
For how long?
5 years.
Prior to the 18th of June, 2002, did you discuss with the plaintiff your daughter's predicament with regard to her 2 children?
Yes.
When had your daughter first contacted you and told you that the children were going to be with their stepmother?
She didn't contact me. I just knew.
How did you know?
Because I correspond with their father and the stepmother.
When you found out about it, what did you do?
I encouraged her to try to get temporary custody of them.
When did you speak to him?
June the 18th.
Are you telling me that prior to June the 18th you never spoke to him about the situation?
Not as far as in a professional manner, just as far as in corresponding, I would come in kind of depressed or upset or something and, share with him the situation.
Now, in June is when you had the first formal conversation with him, is that right?
That's correct.
And was it at that time that he gave you this retainer agreement?
Yes.
And what did you do with the retainer agreement?
I signed it, and then Michelle signed it.
Where was she when she signed it?
In my kitchen, in my house.
On what date?
September, I'm going to say probably around 21st, 22nd.
Your Honor, Shut. I don't want you to speak.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The conference with client that you are referring to in your billing statement has to be Miss Galloway. Is that correct?
Yes, but may I explain?
No.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Attorney Warner Lovell says former client Michelle Carson owes for his services involving custody. Michelle says Mr. Lovell was hired by her mother, so she should pay.
Why is it that your daughter didn't sign the retainer agreement until September?
Because the proceedings, the way they were going, we thought we were going to have to, get attorney fees from the defendant. And I couldn't do that because I was not a party to the litigation.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, in order to get attorney fees, you're the party, I'm not, you need to sign this.
Now, when was the hearing in this case?
First one I was involved in was scheduled for June 28, 2002, but we went in a day early, the 27th, at mutual agreement.
Mr. Lovell, between June 18th and September, how many court appearances did you make?
I made that one.
And then?
There was another lawyer involved for the defendant here, and the defendant and her mother wanted someone with more experience. I have 32 years experience.
Shh, Mr. Lovell. Who told you that?
Diane Galloway, my witness, told me they wanted someone more experienced. I then communicated with the defendant about this, and I sent her letters. She never responded to one of the letters and indicated
what was the date of the letter, sir?
It was September 23rd. Was to her lawyer, my co-counsel, pointing out.
No, Mr. Lovell. Mr. Lovell, sir. Let me explain to you where I'm going, and you know exactly. You know exactly where I'm going, Mr. Lovell. Right. Between June 18th and some date in September that your witness is not sure of, the defendant did not retain you. She retained you.
I disagree with that assessment.
Well, I'm telling you, you may disagree with it, but since I am the final arbiter of what's going on here, you have to accept that, sir. Now, you are suing for work that was done between June and September. I think that your secretary wanted some help with a custody case that she thought was a good idea initially in April. She told her daughter that she thought her daughter should pursue this custody case as opposed to the stepmother. Her daughter retained her own attorney. She signed a retainer agreement with you in June. She did not sign it until September. And all I'm asking you now, sir, is to fill in the blanks for me when you had correspondence with the defendant. Show me.
The first letter I had with her was the 23rd of September. Here's a copy of the letter. I had another one on October 8th. But prior to these letters, I had telephone communications with her, Judge. Your Honor, and she recognized me as her counsel.
Don't tell me she recognized you as her counsel, sir. I don't see that she recognized you as her counsel. You don't have a retainer agreement signed by her until September. And in September, you started sending her letters that you wanted your money. She says, you're not my lawyer. I mean, I'm not asking her any questions. I'm just looking at your paperwork, sir, and listening to your witness.
From August 6th to October 7th, Diane Galloway was out of my office with a wrist injury and surgery. So I was having to communicate some with the defendant directly. She recognized me as her lawyer. And
did you recognize him as your lawyer?
Honor, I never spoke with him. It was always through my mom. My mom would tell me something. I never spoke with this gentleman on the telephone except for one time, and it was a no charge on the billing statement. All of this other billing is conversation with Diane Galloway, conversation with Diane Galloway.
See it, please?
All of the bills.
Can I see it, please? How much did you pay your attorney?
My attorney? $2,000.
What happened with the case?
I lost.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Who paid you your retainer on June 18th?
Diane Galloway paid a $500 retainer on that time. I have a copy of the check she's given.
I believe you.
Okay.
Am I correct that in your statement to this defendant, dated 7/1/02 for the month of June, that when you refer to conference with client, you are referring to Miss Galloway?
Some of those were with Miss Galloway. I had a conversation or two with each one.
Listen to me, sir. You don't say clients. You say client. Did you have a conference with Miss Carson on 6/18? The answer is either yes or no.
No.
So if you did not have a conference, Mr. Lovell, with Ms. Carson on June 18th, the conference with client that you are referring to in your billing statement has to be Ms. Galloway. Is that correct?
Yes, but may I explain?
No. On June 19th, did you have a conference with Ms. Carson?
Not in person.
Are you telling me, sir, that you had a conference on the telephone with Ms. Carson and you had a conference with Ms. Galloway as well?
No. The defendant worked for American Airlines and I couldn't reach her by phone during the day. When I would call, I usually would not get a response. If she had to come into my office, she would lose pay. Therefore, I would communicate to her through Diane Galloway.
Mr. Lovell, I'm not going to prolong this torture anymore, sir. You do not have a case against Ms. Carson and you know it. Case dismissed. That's all.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Spear versus Green. Step forward, please.
22-year-old waitress Jamie Spear is suing the father of her child, 20-year-old Job Corps worker Antoine Green, for the cost to fix her car. Jamie says Antoine caused her to crash into a telephone pole.
Ms. Spear, you and the defendant have a child in common, and it is your claim that the defendant caused your car to be towed.
In the matter of Kine versus Cameron. Step forward, please.
19-year-old telemarketer Janae Kine is suing her ex-boyfriend, 24-year-old landscaper Wade Cameron, for crashing her car by pulling the emergency brake while she was driving.
Ms. Kine, according to your complaint, you were driving the defendant's car home from some sort of an event because he was intoxicated and couldn't drive. You got into an accident, you caused a great deal of damage to another car, and you were ordered to pay restitution. And you believe that the defendant should pay that restitution because it was his fault, because he pulled the emergency brake.
Correct.
Which caused you to skid out of control and hit the other car.
Mm-hmm.
The defendant says he did in fact pull the emergency brake, but he pulled it because you were driving erratically. That's your defense.
Yes.
How do you know each other?
We're dating.
How old are you?
19.
And you?
24.
What was the date of the accident?
January 3rd, 2002.
Where were you coming from?
We were coming home from a party that night.
Had you gone together?
Yes.
Just the two of you?
No, there was 3 other people with us in the car.
Were the other 3 people in the back of the car intoxicated?
Yes.
But you were not?
I was not.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janae Kime says ex-boyfriend Wade Cameron caused her car to crash when he abruptly pulled the emergency brake.
Okay. Now, tell me about the accident.
I was driving his car home from the party. Everything was all right. We were like 2 houses down from his house, and then all of a sudden he pulls up the emergency brake, and the car that I'm driving slides into this parked car, and the owners of the car were sitting in the car at that time. And so I pulled the car around the block and parked it at his house, and then we all went down to make sure that everything was okay. And I was in shock when this all happened at the time, you know, because it was such like a dramatic experience that I went through, and it brought back memories of...
Don't give me your memories. I'm not interested in your memories.
Okay.
So you went back to see if everybody was okay?
Right, and Wade had told me at the time that he had insurance on his car, so I figured everything was taken care of. I was in shock, so I left. And
you left before the police arrived?
Right. And I called him the next day, and I asked him what was going on. He gave me the number of the officer in Boulder that was handling the case. So I called her and let her know that I was driving the car, and then a couple days after that, I went up there. She wrote me a ticket, and then I went to court after that.
How did you contact the police, sir?
How did I contact the police? They contacted me.
You did? When?
The following day, or that evening.
So what did you tell them that evening?
I told them basically we were coming back from the party, and they were assuming that I was driving, but I wasn't, and because the person that was driving left the scene of the crime, so they were trying to direct it towards me. But I told them what happened, and that she had taken off, and they wanted a description of her and everything, and then that once that I'd gotten contact with her, to have her contact them.
Let me see the police report. Did you first tell the police that somebody else was driving the car, sir?
They were asking who it was, and I was describing who it was, and I didn't exactly say what she'd look like.
Who's Tamara?
I was a made-up person.
So you lied to the police?
Well, I didn't know her name exactly at the time. Like,
you didn't know whose name?
Well, I was drunk, so I was just mumbling out words.
Hey, don't try to get over on me. I'm smarter than you'll ever be in your whole life. Bird, do you have a piece of paper there?
I do.
Good. I want you to give her a piece of paper and give him a piece of paper, and I want each of them to write down, prior to today, when the last time was that each of these people saw each other, spent any time with each other. Do you understand my question? Prior to today.
Okay.
You need a pen? You need an extra pen? I want them to do it independently.
Thank you.
Look over here, sir. Eyes front. Write down the date.
The exact.
Write down the date that each of you remembers that you spent any time together prior to today's date. I'll take them. Thank you.
His, hers, yours.
Thank you. Okay, very good. Now, what did you have to pay restitution for, by the way?
I had to pay restitution for $6,839 for the whole damage to the car that I hit.
Because he didn't have insurance?
Right, and yet he told me he did.
When did he tell you he did?
He told me he did that night before I was going to drive his car, because I was planning on driving them home anyways. And I was like, you have insurance, right? He's like, yes, I
Oh,
do.
sure, you asked him, do you have insurance? Oh, do I
No,
believe that?
I really did.
Do I believe that?
I really
Sure, I do believe that. You said to him, I'll drive your car because you're drunk. By the way, do you have insurance? I want to tell you something. I think that all of you people got together and made up a very good story. That's what I think. It's not going to wash with me. I don't believe he pulled the emergency brake. I believe the car spun out of control. Did you have a driver's license?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Good. After this whole thing happened, did he accept full responsibility?
We had conversations, about this happening, and he promised that he would pay me $200 a month for all the restitution bills, because I have to pay $200 a month for the next 4 years for this car that he wrecked.
How much longer did you date after this incident?
We didn't date at all after this. The only time that we saw each other was just to converse about this, about the case, and about what would
Really,
happen.
where were you?
It had been maybe at his house a couple times when I'd go up there.
At his house a couple of times?
Yeah, when I would go up there to go try to get the money, because I couldn't get a hold of him because he was avoiding my calls.
Okay. And when was the last time you saw him to ask him for money?
Last time that I saw him was a couple months ago. The last time I asked him for money was a couple weeks ago before I or probably about 3 weeks ago before I went and filed a case in Boulder.
And where were you when you asked him for the money?
I was at my house on the phone the last time.
When was the last time you saw him?
The last time that I saw him was...
At his house, at your house?
At his
for
house?
Coffee, something.
No, I just asked him for money. It was probably about 2 months ago.
And when was the last time you say you saw her?
Last time I saw her was when we went to court for that.
Which was when?
When I don't know the exact date of when that court date was, but we had the same court date, so that's the last time I saw her.
Uh-huh. And did you tell the judge in court that you had pulled, that this was all your fault?
Basically, just to get it was already.
I'm asking you a question.
Yes.
Did you tell the judge in court that the accident was all your fault? The answer is yes or no.
Yes.
What did the judge say to you?
That was it.
Were you ordered to pay any fine?
No.
Any restitution?
No.
Interesting. Well, one of you say that the last time you saw each other was February 28th. One of you says the last time you saw each other was January 10th. It's interesting, isn't it?
So
Isn't it?
Very interesting.
Case is dismissed.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Beausoleil versus Bridges. Step forward, please.
Doll artist Carol Beausoleil is suing computer business owner Jeff Bridges for a refund on a computer. Carol says Jeff sold an outdated computer to her minor son.
Miss Beausoleil, where is your son?
He didn't come because he's afraid to go on planes, and he just felt really awkward. And
How old is he?
17.
He didn't come because he's embarrassed. I can understand why he would be embarrassed under the circumstances of this case.
Oh, okay,
According to your
yeah, you're
complaint, Miss Beausoleil, your son wanted a computer, and he had a friend who worked in a computer store. two of you discussed it and thought it would be a good idea for him to go to the computer store where his friend works. Are you the friend?
Yes.
For him to buy a computer, a used computer, because he needed it for the internet.
Right.
So he went with his friend to the computer store owned by the defendant and was sold a used computer with a monitor. The whole package was $420?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, by the way.
Good morning. And you say the computer crashed at some point and you want your money back.
Yeah.
What date did you sell the boy the computer?
Speaking to me, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your
I'm
Honor?
looking at you, I'm talking to you.
Sorry. I sold it on March 28th of 2002, and it was a used computer system.
Okay. And you told him it was used?
Yes, I did.
Did he give you a deposit?
Yes, he gave me a $50 deposit.
Did he take the computer with him?
No, not right away.
So he really bought it on layaway?
Yes.
Now, when your son came home, your son was 17 at the time?
Yeah.
Did you discuss with your son that he had found a computer that he liked and he put a $50 deposit on it?
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So did you go down to the computer store to
Yes.
look at it?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. It looked brand new.
Well,
but-
you knew it wasn't brand new. You
No.
knew it was used.
It was a few years old.
When did you take the computer home?
It was about a month after. We brought it home.
Just to answer my questions. Your son isn't here,
Okay.
so I have to do this my way. Mr. Bridges, what date did they take the computer home?
Forgive me. Oh, great. I'm a little nervous. I apologize.
Don't be nervous. I only eat litigants on Tuesdays. Is this Tuesday?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carol Beausoleil says business owner Jeff Bridges sold a worthless computer to her minor son.
Go ahead.
Okay. $328 is what I have.
$328 is the first payment of $50,
Oops,
Mr. Bridges.
I'm sorry. Actually, Your Honor, if I may show these to you, because
Why? If you can't find it, why are you giving it to me? I don't get paid to get tortured, Mr. Bridges.
Well,
she
you know-
says it was a month later, so let's say it was a month later.
Okay,
They
yeah.
made the final payment. You gave them the computer.
Yes.
All right. Now, Miss Beausoleil, you now bring the computer home. Who made the last payment, you or your son?
I gave my son the money to go and put down.
All right, after you had already been there to see it.
Right.
Fine.
If I may, Your Honor, she actually came into this the store to make the last payment and a check.
Well, you had to bring it in the car. We had, you know,
Oh, so you went and made the last payment.
with my son.
Fine. No, you went. You're the adult. Your son is a minor. He cannot enter into a
Right,
contract.
right. Okay.
That's the problem. If your son had gone in there alone, Mr. Bridges might have had a problem. But your son didn't go there alone. He went there with you, Miss Beausoleil.
Right.
You knew you weren't getting any guarantee with the computer.
Oh, yeah, there's a guarantee. I have a guarantee here.
Let me see it.
And I have this over here that I underlined.
Let's see what the guarantee is. Well, where's the guarantee?
At the very bottom.
It says all repairs are guaranteed for 30 days.
But, I mean, as far as the warranty, too. There's a warranty on it.
Listen, help me out here. Just let her point it to you, Bird. You can point it to me, and then make my life easier.
May I speak?
No.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, he reassured me, I mean, you know, because we were going to have it fixed, and then...
Miss Beausoleil, there was no warranty with this computer. The piece of paper that you gave me said that all repairs done by them are guaranteed for 30 days. You have a document there that does not have a warranty. Is that correct?
Okay, but on the day we picked it up, from that date on, we still had the 30 days.
No! You don't have 30 days. You didn't have a computer repaired. You bought a computer, a used computer that came without a warranty, which is exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's getting harder. Now, you bring the computer home.
Mm-hmm.
What happened when you got it home?
So he set everything up, the technician helped him, and then the system stated it wasn't internet ready, that he needed a lot more RAM. So that was fine. So Linus offered his assistance and added these few things for the computer. And then when I called Jeffrey...
Linus? Is that your name?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, that's my
Yes
son's
is all
name.
I need from you. So
then
he
I-
came over and he added stuff for the,
Yeah,
for the
which was
computer.
nice. I mean, we didn't think there was a problem with the computer.
Good.
We thought it
Next.
just needs a few RAMs. So then I called Mr. Bridges to tell him, and he says, well, you know what, Carol, the new modem, it's in the mail. It hasn't arrived yet, but you can use the one we have. But, you know, I just closed my business. He was open for a month. And I figured, well, we'll
Did
just
it
have
work? Listen to me. Did it work after Linus put in the RAMs or doodads or whatever it did?
Did it work?
It was
for a day, for 2 days, for 5 days.
It worked for some game procedures, but it was very slow.
I don't care if it was slow or not.
Yeah.
It's an old thing, as my husband says. You know, when he has a computer
Mm.
and it's more than 6 months old, he says to me, "Oh, it's a dinosaur. I need a new computer." You know?
Yeah.
But it worked.
Yeah.
So what are you complaining about?
Well, when I talked to DSL, they said they couldn't, that we couldn't deal with DSL. So in other words, my son couldn't go on internet. He couldn't go on the internet.
What do you want from me? What do you want from Mr. Bridges? You should have made all of these inquiries before you bought the computer. Before you bought the computer. You bought a computer that did not have any warranties whatsoever on it.
Yeah, but he gave me his phone number and said, "Carol, if anything goes wrong, just give me a call." So I did. He hung up on me. I had to call the police, and then he did.
What'd you call the police for?
Because he called me a controlling, and he pressed the button. He pressed the button.
So
and it's
you
like,
bothered the police with that?
No, but it seems like when he sold the computer, and after we had it in our house, oh, well, no big deal. I mean,
that's what happens. He's a merchant. Ms. Bosley, do your homework better the next time. If you buy something that's used, especially a computer, what I suggest you do is, I suggest you read all kinds of magazines, get a hold of Consumer Reports, get a hold of everything else, and make an informed judgment. When you're buying something used, it's no different from buying it off the street, unless you get a guarantee from someone that they will honor repairing, maintaining it, or whatever for a period of time.
Well,
the fact that he went out of business, he doesn't have to stay in business to satisfy you. If he can't make a living, he's entitled to go out of business.
Yeah.
You bought a computer with no recourse because you have no guarantee. And anything that's not in your contract, the fact that he gave you his phone number, you cannot amend a written contract, which is what you have, with an oral statement, "Call me if you have any problems." That's what everybody says. That's like the check is in the mail. You know, call me with any problems. Ms. Bosley, you should be wise enough not to get involved with something like this.
But see, it was because of Linus being my son's friend. Linus knows more about computers. My son is kind of illiterate when it comes to computers.
Then buy him a new computer with a guarantee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Case is dismissed.
This is case number 211 on the calendar in the matter of Palmer, Chorney versus Palmer. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
How are you related to each other?
Friends.
How are you involved in this case?
That's my best friend. She borrowed him the money. She borrowed me the money to borrow him.
She loaned you the money.
Sorry, she loaned me the money.
That he allegedly borrowed from you.
Yes.
Why don't you have a seat? This is your father.
Yes, ma'am.
It's your claim that the father borrowed $200 from you and also has some property of yours that's not worth very much, but $80, a VCR and a quilt set. He says he never borrowed any money from you and you took all your property, put it outside, and you came by and you took it. What did you lend your father money for?
My best friend had borrowed or loaned me $200 to loan him $200 so he could move into the apartment that he is staying in with now with his girlfriend. He did not have the full deposit to move in.
When did he ask you for this money?
June 8th.
Did he call you on the phone?
Yeah, he called me on my cell phone.
Where were you living?
With my mother.
So your father called you and asked you to borrow money so that he could put down a deposit on an apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Why would he call his daughter?
He's called me many times to borrow money. He's borrowed money from me several times.
How old are you?
19.
What kind of work do you do?
I clean houses for a living. I work for Mary Maids.
What kind of work do you do, Mr. Palmer?
I'm a truck driver. Been a truck driver for 10 years.
You work steadily 5 days a week?
Yes, ma'am.
Who do you work for?
Right now I'm working for D&D. What is it?
Don't ask her. She doesn't drive the truck.
Oh, I can't remember what it's D&D services, I guess is what
It's
they call
D&D
it.
Realty. He maintenances for his landlord. He is not driving a truck.
On what date did you lend him this money?
June 9th.
Who were you working for on June 9th?
A1 Container. It's a trash business.
And how long had you been working for them?
Right around 7-8 months.
So there was really no need for you to borrow money from your daughter?
No, ma'am. When all this was going on, I was in the process of a divorce. I was living in my truck for 2.5 months. The gentleman that I worked for at A1 Container was holding my paychecks so I didn't blow my money, so I would have the money to move in. This 200.
Why was he holding?
I asked him to hold a certain amount of money every week. I'd cash my check. I'd give him cash. We'd hold this for me so I don't blow my money, because he knew the predicament I was in. I'd been living in my truck for 2.5 months. This whole case started over. This was supposed to be a trip that Amanda Sylvia's 7-year-old sister, was supposed to take to Kansas City. I couldn't get the time off of work because I had just started working.
Who? What's your first name?
Amanda.
Amanda. Who's Sylvia?
This is Sylvia.
And who's 7-year-old?
That's her sister, and she's
She
6,
has
and that
nothing
is
to do.
incorrect. He had lost his job.
Go ahead.
We had planned a trip to go to Kansas City. It was supposed to be a week later than what they went. We told her not to go because her car would not make the trip. I had a SEI.
When was it?
The trip was supposed to take place. I take her, Your Honor, every year.
When was the trip?
June 22nd for her birthday. For the last 10 years, I've taken my daughter to Worlds of Fun.
She went. So what's the $200 for?
She went to Kansas City against my wishes. I had a mechanic look at her vehicle. The mechanic stated, your car is not worthy. I got a phone call at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on my pager from my girlfriend, Linda. Your daughter is in Kansas City. Her car broke down. She was 80 miles outside of Columbia, Missouri. She got on the interstate, left Worlds of Fun on 480.
Don't give me the road, sir. It doesn't make any difference.
She went the wrong direction.
So what was the $200 for?
She's stating that I borrowed $280 from her. I borrowed no money. I was supposed to pay for their trip to Kansas City. They went without me, and the mechanic told her not to go. The car broke down. They called me. I took time off of work. I borrowed money. I borrowed a car, drove to Kansas City, picked up my daughter, Sylvia, and a 7-year-old girl out in the middle of nowhere. The highway patrol had to find her for me.
How long did it take you to get there?
They called me at 2:30 in the afternoon. I showed up in Kansas City at 9:30 at night.
And when was this?
The day that they took the trip.
Your Honor, it was the 12th that
12th
we
of
were
what?
stuck out there, of June.
So you're telling me that your father borrowed money from $200 from you on June 9th.
Mhm.
And 3 days later, he came out to Kansas City to get you.
Yes.
He did
He
come
came out. He came out to help me with my starter because my starter went out in my car. I had took it to my personal mechanic, and
No, I'm talking about you drove 11 hours to come and get you.
I called him at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
and he was not home. So his girlfriend called him and then called me back and let me know that he was working and he'd be out as soon as he could get off of work and
Your
he could
Honor.
find a car. I did not call him at his place of business. I do not know that.
Did your father
number.
come to get you on
Yes,
June 12th?
He came out on June 12th.
Okay, and he came out. What did he do when he came out on June 12th? Just a minute. You sit down. Look at me. Look at me. You too.
When he arrived, he threw the cooler that belonged to her towards her little sister, and his girlfriend hollered at him and pushed him away. He then put a spare tire on my car because my spare had exploded. The company out in Kansas City put a new starter in my car, so I needed a tire. It wasn't the starter that I needed help with.
Okay, so?
And the $200 had nothing to do with the trip. He was fired from A1. He did not work there no more. The only reason why I borrowed him the money is because I felt bad for him because he got arrested for sleeping in his truck.
Okay. Now, what about these things that you say he has that belong to you, a VCR and a quilt?
When he first moved into his apartment, they were sleeping on the floor. They had blankets, and that was it because his girlfriend's going through a divorce and just left her daughter and her husband to be with him. I had went to stay with him for a little while because I wasn't getting along with my mother. And I had a VCR, and I had my TV there. I got my TV and my dressers and my clothes back. And the only reason I got that back is because I was escorted by officers because he...
Well, what caused the trouble between you and your father?
His girlfriend.
Excuse me, Your Honor?
Explain that to me. It sounds to me as
that
if...
being more important than his daughter.
It sounds to me as if for at least, he says 10 years, he would take you to this water park.
No.
Say 5 years.
Worlds of
But
Fun.
you had a reasonable relationship with him. Certainly you got into trouble. You called him to come and help you.
It was occasionally reasonable. It depended.
Good. Okay. And then if you had difficulty with your mother,
Yeah.
you said you went to your father. So it wasn't as if you were estranged, that you weren't
While I
speaking.
was staying with him, my belongings were there, but I was staying at Sylvia's house most of the time because we were fighting.
All right. But sometimes you were there, and it doesn't sound like a terrible arrangement. So what kind of problems do you have with his girlfriend?
That she was on probation, and he is...
Probation for what?
I believe DWI.
Okay.
And the problems all occurred, and the reason why I started staying with Sylvia was because they were arguing because he was having pot in the house while she's on probation, and that she was drinking while being on probation.
Did your father drink?
From what I understand, yeah, he has been. While I was staying with him, I had seen him drink several times.
Your Honor, I quit drinking April 13th, 1988 when I hit a telephone pole at 80 miles an hour because of alcohol, and I haven't drank since.
So, Mr. Palmer, what do you involve? Listen to me. If that's true, that means that there was a point in your life where you had a drinking problem.
Yes, ma'am.
And it sounds to me like you had a serious drinking problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Then what do you get yourself involved with somebody who has a drinking problem for?
Because my girlfriend has been in AA for 2.5 years, clean and sober. I have been clean and sober for almost 11 months.
That's incorrect.
Just a shh. I thought it was 1988.
I would like...
I thought it was 1988.
I would like to explain, Your Honor, I would like to explain why this has all come about. The problems between me and my daughter are right there with Sylvia Chorney. My daughter lied to you when you asked her, what is your relationship? They're not friends. They are girlfriends.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You had a substance abuse problem.
I had no substance abuse.
Of course you did. You were in AA.
Test me right now and
you
prove
told
to
me you were in AA.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Amanda Palmer says she loaned her father, Mark Palmer, $200. Mark says Amanda is a bitter girl and she's seeking revenge.
Now,
that is my friend.
There was a point when this all came out, before I found out that my daughter and Sylvia Chorney were seeing each other. Sylvia Chorney went to the Omaha Police Department and filed charges against me for rape, for fear of how I was going to react to this.
My mother had, that's when he was still with my mother, and my mother was around, and I went to my mother when I found out that he had raped her. And I had took my mother to Village Inn. I sat down, I had talked to her. My mother knew before he knew that I was gay. That has nothing to do with it.
And Your Honor, they said that it was...
The verbal and the physical and the emotional abuse started when I was very young.
Okay. More information that I needed for this, shh, please. More information that I needed. I see you're upset, okay? And it's more than $200. It's, the issue involves more than $200, I gather.
Well, I have papers and everything stating for the money that came out and all of that because it was from her.
I want to tell you something. I believe that you gave him $200. Okay? I believe that you gave him $200. What I'm telling you is I don't think that this case is about $200 because I don't think that you would be here for $200.
It wasn't for me. It was for the respect out of my friend, or whatever he wants to consider her, out of my best friend, because she borrowed it, and I don't want it to come in between us because of that.
Okay. So you're really talking about Sylvia saying to you, you got to get the money back from him.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about that for a minute. Good, bad, I don't know. I don't have enough time to figure it out today, nor is it really any of my business. Whether he's a good father, a bad father, whether he has been verbally abusive, emotionally abusive, whether he's been supportive or non-supportive, I don't know. Bottom line is, that's your father.
Bottom line is, Your Honor, I support him no matter what.
Quiet down, because I have a feeling, sir, growing up with you was not a picnic. If you had an alcohol problem for a period, listen to me carefully. Deny all you like. But if growing up with you at times involved living with your substance abuse problem, that's a problem.
Substance abuse problem? I had no substance abuse problem, Your Honor. I left my wife because my wife had left me on several occasions laying in a bed, burning.
Mr. Palmer, you are not paying attention to me, sir. What I'm saying to you is you had a substance abuse problem.
I had no substance abuse.
Of course you did. You were in AA.
Test me right now and prove to me
you were in
AA. I was drinking in April 13th, 1988. I went after work. I went and had a few beers with a buddy.
Alcohol, you told me. You've been involved in AA. You've been clean and sober for 11 months. That's what you told me. Alcohol is a substance. If you abuse a substance, that's a substance abuse. That's not necessarily drugs. Alcohol is a substance.
I went to AA, Your Honor, for marijuana use, not alcohol use.
Mr. Palmer, whatever it is, sir, if you're in a state of denial, I'm not going to reach you.
I
You
don't
have
deny
a
it.
child who's 19 years old. If during the course of her minority, you as a parent that sometimes were under the influence of either marijuana, which is a drug, or alcohol, which is also a substance, and that caused you not to be able to properly parent a child, and I'm telling you that it absolutely all the time does not enable you to properly parent a child when your brain is cloudy, then she grew up with certain amount of baggage that she didn't buy into when she was born. You have to understand that. That's a true thing.
I understand
You
that,
may
Your
not
Honor.
like it, but it's a true thing. So she's got baggage.
I'm not
She is
the
your
one
child.
I am not the one being investigated for doctor shopping,
Oh,
for pills,
gee
because of her
whiz.
mother.
You're not getting it.
No, he can't.
If I'm not getting it, then award her the case because I am so used.
Then I want you to tell him, if he doesn't understand, I want you to just stand by him. And every time he opens his mouth now, because now tried to get through to him, it was like getting through to this table. You don't get it.
Just award to her.
You don't get it.
I do get it.
You
I've
don't
been
get it.
shafted for
She's your
23
child.
years. I got shafted for 23 years. What's another day in court?
Just a second. She wasn't around for 23 years, sir. She's only been around 19.
And it's been this
19.
way my whole life.
Shh. She's only been around for 19.
Your Honor, I have traveled her all
No,
over
no,
the
I'm not
United States.
listening to you. You are not getting it. You are not getting it. She's the child. You're the parent.
And I was a damn good parent.
No.
Oh, I'm sure you were a wonderful parent. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $280. You don't get it. But he's your father. He's always going to be your father. If Sylvia was a good friend to you, she would not have put you in a situation that you're in today by saying to you, you should get the money back from him. Because this is too painful. This is too painful. You should not be involved with it. You have to understand, your best friend is supposed to make things easy for you, not
She
more
has-
difficult. Good.
That has been
Okay,
her
judgment
biggest
for the
thing.
plaintiff as pursuant to the requested judgment, which is $280, because I believe what you tell me. That's all.
Parties are
Thank
excused.
you.
You may step out. Sir, step out the back.
It's been nothing but verbal threats, him harassing her at her job.
She lied to the judge.
I don't care if I was 16 and had $5 and he asked for it, and I'd give it to him.
Your Honor, this is case number 135 on the calendar in the matter of Pogue versus Hawk. You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Mrs. Pogue, this young lady is your daughter,
Yes, ma'am.
and this is your other daughter,
Yes, ma'am.
and you're the
Husband.
husband. Let's deal with your daughter's lawsuit first, because I think that that might be easier. You are suing your sister because you claim when you were living with her, she had promised to pay you for babysitting.
Yes, ma'am.
And she didn't.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
18.
How old were you when you were living with your sister?
18.
When did you start to live with your sister?
The middle of February.
Why?
I was kicked out of my father's house because I did not get along with my new stepmother. So Nina and her husband said that it would be fine for me to move in with them.
How long had you been living with your father?
I moved in with my father when I was 15.
Prior to that, you had lived with your mother?
Yes.
Why did you leave your mother's house?
Me and my mom didn't really get along at the time.
Now, what was your living arrangement with your sister?
At the beginning, we lived in an apartment, and I had my own room. And then after that, we moved into a bigger house, so I still had my own room.
Okay. Were you paying any expenses?
Yes. Actually, no, I had them under my name. I had the cable under my name and the telephone under my name, but they were paying it.
So you
Because
were
I
not
was-
paying any expenses in the house?
No, because I was still going to school. And
The answer is you were not. You were 18, but
Yeah.
not paying any expenses in the house.
Yes.
Were you getting any money from your mother and father?
No.
Who was giving you spending money?
My sister.
And how many months did you live with her?
3 months, I think, exactly.
Is that about right?
3.5 months.
So for 3.5 months, you lived while you were legally an adult, 18. You're living with your sister. You're not paying rent. You're not paying for food.
No,
You're
she.
Shh. You're not paying for transportation. And if you had to go to a movie or something, if you wanted to go to a movie or out with friends.
I paid for it.
I never asked her to pay for it.
Did she ever give you any spending money? I mean, I can't believe that in 3.5 months she didn't have You didn't say, could I have $5 or could I have $10 or...
Bought her clothes, gave her money. Yes, I gave her $50 one time, $30 another just for spending money, paid for her boutonniere for her prom, bought her pants, bought her a whole outfit, bought her food for a bird. She neglected to tell me the last month her bird was without food and it died. But besides that, I paid it all.
So why would you sue her for babysitting occasionally for her children?
Because it was a verbal agreement that she said she would give me $110 from her financial aid for going to school to watch her daughter.
During the summer, if I worked, and she made me almost lose my job. I had only worked there a week and a half, and she bailed out on me every single time I asked her to babysit during that only week and a half that she lived with me and I worked.
I'm not going to bother with your babysitting claim, so now you can sit down. You should say thank you to your sister and forget it. All right, now let's get to your claim. There came a time when you wanted to use a bank account that was your daughter's, and you put money into a bank account that was in her name and her husband's?
Just my name.
Just your name?
Mm-hmm.
She opened the account for me, Your Honor.
She couldn't get an account anywhere else. It was a favor.
But then, when you moved that account, there was some outstanding checks, I gather, or outstanding debits, and they took part of the balance that belonged to your mother. You acknowledge that?
Yes.
How much did they take that belonged to you?
$134.77, Your Honor.
Okay, well, you are clearly owed that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. She did not give me a chance to pay it, though.
All right, $134.77.
We called twice, Your Honor, and her husband said to me
after
on the
offering
phone,
to make payments.
no, before I even had any chance to say anything else, her husband said to me, quote unquote, take me to court.
Lick my Your Honor.
And that was very unbelievable.
Yeah, sure is. Not the way to speak to somebody, sir. I'm just telling you. There's no excuse for that.
She called. She called my mom's house because we didn't have a phone at the time, and told my mom what happened. So I think it was like 4 days later. I called her Colette.
He said, "I hear you're going to take me to court."
No, just please.
Okay.
I said, "I hear my mom tells me you're going to sue me for money that was taken out of your account to cover our other account." And she said yes. And I said, and she wanted the money by the 1st. She said it was part of her rent money. And I said, I don't know if I can give you all that money by the 1st because my rent's also due. And she said that wasn't acceptable. She needed her money and that I was going to stiff her. And I said, well, then you have to then sue me.
No, I'm telling you, sir, that what you said to her was uncalled for.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, good. Then I don't have to yell at you anymore.
Also, Your Honor, he told me that I couldn't see my granddaughter anymore.
He's an idiot.
Well, if you weren't smoking pot and drinking alcohol and everything else.
Stop.
Maybe I'd allow you.
Please, I am not getting into this. Let me just take care of the money, please.
Yes.
You want to fight with each other? Do it outside.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your Honor.
Listen to me. Shouldn't say anything else that is going to make any situation worse.
And later today.
They dressed shamelessly and makeup, and they were hellions. We're 9 and 11 going on 17.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Catherine Pogue and her daughter Dana Pogue say Dana's sister, Nina Hawk, and her husband John owe for babysitting fees, a couch, and stolen money.
You have some nonsense here about a couch that you say you loaned to your daughter and she sold.
Yes, ma'am.
You sure you want to get into that?
Ma'am, that was the agreement between her and I.
What was the
okay, I had a pretty good sized house, and I was going to move closer to my job.
Go ahead. What year was this?
The beginning of the year 2000.
All right. You said take one of my couches.
I said take both the sofa and the love seat. Please keep them in your control. If you decide to get rid of them, please, I would like them back. Or if you decide to sell them, this is how much I would like for them, because she said that her friend had expressed an interest in buying them. Come to find out, I asked her about them, and she said, oh, no, Danielle has them in storage. And I said, oh, well, then was Danielle going to buy them? And she said, Danielle already gave me the $350. And I said, well, then why didn't you give it to me? She said, well, I needed to use it at the time. And I said, okay, I understand that, but that was the agreement that you agreed to pay for them.
Go ahead.
This woman talks to me on a daily basis.
No. Talk to me about the couches.
She knows exactly what happened. When I was 17, April, she moved out to live with her boyfriend in Vancouver. She left me half the furniture. I've still got the buffet table, the sewing machine, never said anything about payment. I never expected this. I sold it to a friend of mine a year later, I was evicted a week and a half after she moved out because she hadn't paid 4 months' rent.
Okay, when your mother moved, who remained in the house with you?
My boyfriend and his best friend had to move in and help pay expenses.
Just a second. So it was just you and your boyfriend?
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, pretty close. Pretty
close. Forget the couches. Judgment for the plaintiff on your claim for $134.77. Let me deal with your counterclaim for a moment.
Okay.
And it will take only a moment.
Okay.
Your sister moved in with you, and your counterclaim is that your mother should pay for the 3 months that your sister lived with you.
She offered to help pay out and never paid a dime to help.
Your Honor.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Well, if you did not have what I consider a real contract with your mother, your sister she certainly is under no obligation to pay anything for your sister who had turned 18. So you want to tell me what financial contract you allege with your mother with regard to your sister's support?
Not anything in writing, just verbally that she said she'd help out whenever she could and
Helping out whenever she could is not a contract.
Yeah.
Because she can't. Because she's going to tell you that she can't. All right, so your counterclaim is dismissed, and on your claim you have $134.77.
Okay.
Listen, I don't know what caused all of this animus all of a sudden, because it sounds to me as if, despite its dysfunctional nature, the family had been working reasonably well.
I love both my daughters dearly, Your Honor.
Well,
Your Honor, may I ask you something?
who are you?
I talked to Mr.
No, how are you related to these people?
He lives with me, Your Honor. And he spoke with John about the money owed.
I'm the other person that was on the account. It was my money also.
Just a second. Are you related to any of these people in any way?
No, Your Honor.
Then I don't want to hear from you.
They tried to say it was his.
Love your show, by the way.
Good. I love your silence.
Your Honor.
Listen to me. Shouldn't say anything else that is going to make any situation worse.
Your Honor, I had no intention of doing that. I would like to tell you that the babysitting thing was, Dana did want to go out and get a job. They told her, no, please, we will pay you for babysitting. That was how that all came about.
Ms. Polk, let me tell you something.
I understand.
If an 18-year-old moves in with a sister and her husband, and there isn't a lot of money floating around, it seems anywhere there's not a lot of money floating around, and it does cost money to have another human being in your house.
Yes.
I am positive that they extended themselves in certain ways financially.
That's probably
in order
true,
to have your daughter, her sister, living with them. Whether it's for a pair of shoes or a pair of sneakers or something for graduation or an outfit or $5 to go to the movies or whatever.
And
there shouldn't have been an issue. There shouldn't even have been an issue with regard to this suit by your daughter.
And I
That's all.
understand.
So let's not say.
No, my dear friends, once I was traveling from Pune to Mumbai, and as usual, the traffic was so generous. It gave me ample time for contemplation. As I sat there watching cars honking, people shouting, some sleeping behind the wheel as if the seat were a bed, I started thinking, what are we all really racing for? What does it even mean to win in life? Because truly speaking, in that traffic jam, nobody was winning. We were all stuck. Many of us live life like that traffic, honking loudly to be heard, impatiently switching lanes, comparing our speed with others, thinking that reaching a little earlier will make us happier. But friends, here's the truth. Winning in life is not about getting ahead of others. It's about getting ahead of yourself. Let me share a small story. One day a young man came to me after a session and said, Gaur Gopal Das Ji, I feel like I'm losing in every area of life. My friends are buying cars, getting married, posting vacations on Instagram, and I'm just there. I smiled and asked, who told you that you're losing? He said, well, I can see it. Look at them. And I replied, my dear boy, if you keep running someone else's race, you'll always feel like you're losing, even when you're ahead. The problem is that we've all defined winning through someone else's lens. Society tells us, get good marks, get a job, buy a house, get married, have kids, and one day you'll die successful. But life is not a checklist. It's a journey. And a journey is not about speed, it's about direction. You're going fast in the wrong direction, you're not progressing. You're just accelerating your failure. I remember during my engineering college days, everyone was obsessed with placements. We were all preparing for interviews, making resumes, memorizing answers. One of my friends said, "I'm getting into a top company, my life is set." I asked, "Are you happy?" He said, "That's not important now. Once I get the job, I'll be happy." And I told him, "My friend, if happiness is always in the next step, you'll never find it in the present step. Winning in life isn't about reaching a place, it's about feeling fulfilled while you walk the path." And that's what I want to share with you today. 5 rules that will help you not just win in the world's eyes, but win in your own heart. But before we get to those rules, let's understand what's actually stopping us from living a truly winning life. Because unless we understand the disease, we can't apply the right medicine. You see, when we were children, nobody had to tell us to smile. Nobody had to tell us to dream. We could find joy in a small balloon or a paper boat. But as we grew up, our smiles became conditional on achievements, on validation, on success. We started saying, "When this happens, then I'll be happy." Childhood happiness was unconditional. Adult happiness is full of conditions. That's why, even though we've grown older, we haven't necessarily grown wiser. Once I was speaking at a corporate event and I asked the audience, "How many of you have achieved everything you once dreamed of?" A few hands went up. Then I asked, "How many of you feel truly satisfied?" Those same hands went down quietly. And I told them, that's because success without peace is the slowest form of failure. Friends, the modern world teaches us how to make a living, but forgets to teach us how to make a life. We learn how to earn, but not how to yearn. We learn to count our salary, but not to count our blessings. We learn to build careers, but not character. That's where the imbalance begins. In ancient times, wisdom was not just about knowledge. It was about how to live. The Bhagavad Gita doesn't teach you how to win against others. It teaches you how to win within. Arjuna's battlefield is not just Kurukshetra. It's the battlefield inside each one of us, between doubt and faith, between ego and humility, between fear and courage. And so, when we talk about winning in life, we're not talking about trophies, medals, or bank balances. We're talking about mastering ourselves. Because the biggest victory is not over others, it's over your own weaknesses. I'll tell you one more small story. Once a king declared a race in his kingdom. The winner would receive a golden crown. Many strong, fast, and ambitious runners participated. Among them was one man who wasn't the fastest, but he ran with a smile. The race started, and everyone dashed ahead. Halfway through, this smiling man saw an old woman struggling to lift a bundle of sticks. He stopped, helped her, and then continued running. He reached the finish line last. Everyone laughed, saying, "You lost." But the king got up, removed the crown, and placed it on his head. The crowd was shocked. The king said, "The race was never about speed, it was about heart." That's what I want you to remember as we begin this journey together. The race of life is not about finishing first, but about finishing fulfilled. My dear friends, life is not a competition, it's a contribution. Don't just focus on how much you can take, think about how much you can give. The real winners in life are not those who accumulate the most, but those who appreciate the most. So as we embark on this reflection about the 5 rules to win in life, let's not think of them as formulas to outshine others, but as principles to outgrow ourselves. Let's aim to live a life so meaningful that even when we're gone, our smile remains in people's memories. You see, everyone wants to win, but not everyone knows what game they're playing. The first step to winning is to choose the right game. If your game is comparison, you'll lose peace. If your game is compassion, you'll gain joy. There's a lovely verse in Sanskrit, Yad bhavam tad bhavati. As you think, so you become. If your thoughts are filled with envy, you'll become restless. If your thoughts are filled with gratitude, you'll become peaceful. Winning in life, therefore, begins in the mind. Before you conquer the world, you must conquer your thoughts. And before you change your circumstances, you must change your consciousness. That's why today, as we move forward, I want you to reflect, not just listen, but feel. These 5 rules that I'll share with you are not philosophical ideas. They are practical tools that I've seen transform lives, including my own. Friends, life is not happening to you, it's responding to you. If you smile at life, life will smile back. If you complain, life will give you more reasons to complain. The question is, what vibration are you sending out into the world? Remember, the world doesn't need more successful people, it needs more peaceful people. Because peaceful people are the ones who spread light. And that light is the real definition of winning. My dear friends, before we talk about the rules to win in life, we must understand what's holding us back from winning in the first place. You see, most people don't lose because life is unfair. They lose because they don't even know what game they're playing. There are three main problems that keep people stuck: comparison, confusion, and consumption. These are like the three thieves that quietly steal your peace and purpose while you're busy chasing what looks like success. Let's start with the first one, comparison. One day, after a talk at a university, a young lady came up to me and said, "Gaur Gopal Das ji, I feel so demotivated when I open social media. Everyone seems to be doing better than me." I smiled and said, "My dear, social media is a highlight reel, not a behind-the-scenes documentary. See, people post their perfect moments, the vacation photos, the candlelight dinners, the promotions, but nobody posts their frustrations, fights, or failures. So we end up comparing our real life with their edited one. And of course, we feel miserable. It's like going to a movie set and comparing your living room with it. You'll always feel inferior because what you're seeing there is lighting, makeup, and angles, not reality. Comparison is a thief. It steals joy quietly. You may have everything you once prayed for, but you still feel incomplete because someone else seems to have more. Once, I met a businessman who was doing extremely well. He had a successful company, a beautiful family, and great health. But he told me, "I don't feel successful." I asked why. He said, "Because my friend just bought a private jet." I smiled and said, "So the measurement of your happiness now depends on your friend's flight plan." The truth is, comparison blinds us to our own blessings. We stop being grateful for what we have because we're too busy staring at what others possess. And when gratitude goes down, frustration goes up. The Bhagavad Gita says, envy and greed are the gateways to hell. It's not a mythological hell, it's a psychological one. You can have a comfortable home, a loving family, and a stable income. Yet if envy lives inside you, your mind becomes a furnace. So, the first problem that stops people from winning is this subtle disease of comparison. We look left and right so much that we forget to look up and within. The second problem is confusion. We live in an age of endless options. What to study, where to work, whom to marry, what to wear, what to eat. There's a buffet of choices every day. And while choices are supposed to bring freedom, too many of them bring paralysis. A young man once said to me, "Swamiji, I have 5 career options and I don't know which one to choose. I'm scared of making the wrong decision." I told him, "My dear, the only wrong decision is the one you never make." People are not suffering from lack of opportunities anymore. They are suffering from an overdose of opportunities. And with that overdose comes anxiety. Our minds keep playing the what if game. What if I choose wrong? What if I fail? What if people judge me? And in trying to answer those questions, we forget to live. There's a beautiful saying, "The man who tries to chase 2 rabbits catches none." Similarly, when our focus is scattered, our energy gets divided. When I joined the monastery, people thought I had given up life. But the truth is, I had just simplified it. Instead of chasing 10 things, I decided to master one, myself. So the problem is not that we don't have enough to do, it's that we're doing too much without clarity. And clarity doesn't come from overthinking, it comes from inner stillness. The third problem is consumption. Every day we consume so much news, information, social media, entertainment. Our minds have become like overstuffed hard drives. We scroll more than we sleep, We watch more than we read, and we react more than we reflect. There's a difference between being informed and being overwhelmed. Today, we know everything about celebrities, but nothing about ourselves. Once, I asked an audience, how many of you check your phone before you brush your teeth in the morning? Almost every hand went up. I said, so, our first prayer of the day is to the phone, not to God. Friends, if we don't control our attention, someone else will. And whoever controls your attention controls your life. Information is supposed to make us wise, but uncontrolled consumption makes us restless. It's like overeating. You feel full but not nourished. That's why the mind feels tired even when the body is resting, because it's been running marathon after marathon through endless feeds and notifications. So let's summarize these problems. We compare and lose gratitude. We're confused and lose direction. We overconsume and lose peace. And the result, we feel like we're moving but not progressing, busy but not fulfilled, surrounded by people yet feeling lonely. A student once asked me, Swamiji, why is life so complicated? I smiled and said, because we are complicated. Life was simple when we loved people and used things. Now we love things and use people. This is why, despite having more resources than ever, people feel emptier than ever. The outer world has advanced, but the inner world has collapsed. We have bigger houses but smaller hearts. We have more followers but less connection. We have more degrees but less wisdom. And so, my dear friends, winning in life isn't about adding more. It's about subtracting what doesn't matter. If you want to drive faster, you don't keep adding I to the car, you remove it. Similarly, if you want to move faster in life, remove comparison, confusion, and overconsumption. But to remove them, we need principles, rules that ground us, guide us, and help us stay centered no matter what happens. Just like a kite flies high only because of the string that holds it down, these rules will be your grounding string. Without them, you may fly for a while, but the wind of life will eventually blow you off course. So, what are these rules? How do we rise above the noise, the envy, the uncertainty, and the overload? How do we truly win? Not just in the world's eyes, but in our own conscience. That's what we'll explore next. Because remember, problems are not roadblocks, they are signboards. They show you where the correction is needed. Once you fix that direction, success follows naturally. Let's now talk about the first two rules. The first steps toward transforming your inner game and learning how to truly win in life. Now that we've seen the problems that hold us back, comparison, confusion, and overconsumption, let's talk about the solutions. Because awareness without action is like reading a recipe without cooking the meal. It sounds good, but it won't fill your stomach. So today, let's start with the first two rules to win in life. Rule number 1, master your mind before you chase the world. A man once asked me, Swamiji, how can I change my life? I said, first, learn to manage your mind. He said, but I'm trying to change my job, my relationships, my circumstances. I smiled and said, my dear, if your mind is disturbed, you'll carry that disturbance wherever you go. You can change the location, but not the destination. You see, the mind is like a projector. Whatever movie plays inside it is what you see outside. If your inner world is chaotic, even peaceful situations will look stressful. If your inner all is calm, even storms will look manageable. The Bhagavad Gita calls the mind the best friend and the worst enemy. The same mind that can take you to enlightenment can also drag you into frustration. It depends on who's in control, you or your mind. One day, a disciple asked his guru, Master, why does my mind wander so much when I meditate? The guru gave him a glass of water and said, hold this glass and walk around the temple without spilling a drop. After he returned, the guru asked, did your mind wander? The disciple said, no, I was completely focused on not spilling the water. The guru smiled and said, that's how you train your mind, give it a clear purpose. Our problem is that we leave our minds untrained and then expect peace. It's like leaving a monkey in your living room and wondering why the furniture is broken. Friends, if you can't control what's inside you, you'll always be controlled by what's outside you. Someone will say something, and your mood will change. A post will appear online, and your peace will vanish. A delay will happen, and your patience will evaporate. But when you master your mind, you become unshakable. You still experience challenges, but they don't control your inner weather. How do we master the mind? Through awareness, discipline, and gratitude. Awareness means noticing your thoughts. Don't fight them, just observe them. When you observe your mind, you disempower its chaos. Discipline means giving your mind structure. Wake up with purpose, not with your phone. Spend a few minutes in silence, prayer, or reflection. As I often say, the way you start your morning sets the tone for your day. And gratitude is the medicine for mental madness. When you start counting your blessings, your mind stops counting your problems. Every morning before you rush into the world, ask yourself, what am I thankful for today? It could be as simple as the breath you just took, the roof above your head, or the people who love you. Gratitude shifts the focus from what's missing to what's present. Remember, my dear friends, mastering your mind is not about controlling every thought. It's about not letting every thought control you. When you learn to rule your mind, you automatically learn to win in life. Because peace is not found in perfect circumstances. It's found in a trained mind. Now let's move to the second rule. Rule number 2, serve before you deserve. Everyone today is asking, what can I get from life? Very few are asking, what can I give? But here's the divine paradox. The more you give, the more you grow. The more you serve, the more you deserve. Once I visited a corporate office and the CEO told me, Swamiji, our employees aren't motivated. They just do the bare minimum. I asked, do you appreciate them when they do well? He said, why should I? They're just doing their job. I smiled and said, then don't expect extraordinary effort from people you treat ordinarily. Service and appreciation are the fuels of human connection. Whether it's in your family, your workplace, or your community, when you serve others, you ignite their hearts, and in return, your own heart expands. There's a beautiful story from the life of a monk. Every morning he would clean the temple floor long before anyone arrived. One day another monk asked, why do you do this? You're a senior monk. Let someone else clean. He smiled and said, I don't clean the floor, I clean my mind. Service purifies the heart. It removes selfishness and replaces it with selflessness. And that's where true fulfillment begins. In our lives, we often chase validation. We want people to recognize us, praise us, appreciate us. But the secret is, when you serve genuinely, recognition becomes irrelevant. The act itself becomes the reward. I remember during a talk in London, a gentleman came up and said, Swamiji, I've done so much for my company, but nobody appreciates it. It's so frustrating. I told him, my dear, do your best not because someone is watching, but because you are watching. Don't work for applause, work for purpose. When you shift from what can I get to what can I give, you start living, not just existing. You see, rivers never drink their own water, trees never eat their own fruits, and the sun never shines for itself. Everything in nature serves others. That's why nature is abundant. But humans, when we become self-centered, we start feeling lack, even when surrounded by plenty. So if you want to truly win, serve. Help someone smile. Encourage someone who's struggling. Share your knowledge, your time, your kindness. I once met a lady who was going through depression. She told me, Swamiji, I don't feel like living. I gently said, find someone who needs your help. She started volunteering at an orphanage, teaching kids in the evenings. A few months later, she came back glowing with joy. I asked, what changed? She said, for the first time I felt needed. My dear friends, sometimes the fastest way to heal yourself is to help someone else. Service is not just an act, it's an attitude. You can serve through a smile, through listening, through empathy, through small acts of kindness that ripple through the world. And remember, when you serve, you create invisible wealth, love, respect, trust, and goodwill. These are the currencies that never lose value. Winning in life is not about how high you rise, but about how many lives you lift along the way. Let me share a small reflection here. Once a wealthy man asked a saint, "How can I find peace?" The saint said, "Go and feed 10 hungry people." The man did so and came back. "I did it, but I still don't feel peaceful." The saint smiled and said, "Then feed 10 more. But this time, don't take pictures. Service without ego brings peace. Service with ego brings exhaustion." When you serve with love, your heart expands. When you serve for recognition, your ego expands. One gives joy, the other gives anxiety. Choose wisely. So, the second rule to win in life is simple. Serve before you deserve. Don't wait to become rich, powerful, or famous to start giving. Give now, from whatever you have, wherever you are. Because life doesn't reward the biggest giver, it rewards the most genuine one. My dear friends, as we move forward, remember the first 2 rules. Master your mind and serve before you deserve are the foundation. They teach us to win from within and win through giving. Now let's go deeper into the next part, rules 3 and 4, which will show us how to turn pain into purpose and how to stay grounded while we grow. Now that we've understood the first 2 rules, master your mind and serve before you deserve, let's go deeper. Because once you start gaining inner control and selfless purpose, life will begin to test you, not to break you, but to shape you. And that leads us to rule number 3, turn your pain into purpose. My dear friends, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Everyone in this world faces challenges, failures, heartbreaks, betrayals, health issues, but what differentiates winners from losers is how they respond to that pain. You see, diamonds are made under pressure, not in comfort. Flowers bloom after enduring rain and heat. Even gold is purified by fire. So why do we think we can grow without pain? Once I met a young man after a talk who told me, "Swamiji, I lost my job. I feel like life is punishing me." I looked at him and said, "Maybe life isn't punishing you. Maybe it's preparing you." He looked confused. "Ed," I continued, "sometimes life removes what's good to make space for what's great." He nodded slowly and smiled. A few months later, he wrote to me that losing that job pushed him to start his own business, something he had always dreamed of but never dared to try. His pain became his purpose. Friends, pain is not the end of your story. It's often the beginning of a stronger. The problem is when pain comes, we resist it. We keep asking, "Why me?" But I tell you, ask what for instead. Don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" That question transforms your mindset. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Every challenge carries a hidden blessing. Every failure carries a lesson. Every heartbreak carries wisdom. Once a potter was shaping clay on his wheel. A passerby asked, "Why are you hitting the clay from outside while supporting it from inside?" The potter smiled and said, "If I don't hit it from the outside, it won't take shape. And if I don't support it from inside, it will collapse." That's exactly what life does. It hits you from the outside but supports you from the inside. The hits give you shape, the support gives you strength. If you remember this, your pain will no longer paralyze you. It will polish you. There's a beautiful Sanskrit verse, "Dukh mein sukh ki khoj karo," seek happiness within sorrow. It sounds paradoxical, but that's where true growth lies. Because every painful experience expands your empathy. When you've been hurt, you understand others' pain better. And that makes you more human, more compassionate, more connected. I remember years ago when I first joined the monastery, it wasn't easy. Waking up at 4 a.m. doing service, giving up comfort, it was physically and mentally challenging. But those days of struggle built discipline, humility, and gratitude within me. If life had been easy, I would have remained shallow. Pain made me profound. So the third rule to win in life is to turn your pain into purpose. Instead of cursing the darkness, light a lamp. Instead of asking why, ask how. And instead of running away from challenges, learn to dance with them. Because, my dear friends, your wounds can become your wisdom if you let them. Now, let's move to rule number 4. Stay grounded while you grow. This one is so important in today's world because, you see, success is not the problem. Ego is. Many people can handle failure, but very few can handle success. Once, a farmer's bullock won first prize in a village competition. The next day, the bullock refused to work. The farmer laughed and said, "It seems fame has gone to his head. We humans aren't very different. The moment we get a little recognition, a little applause, we start believing we are the center of the universe. But remember, the higher the tree grows, the deeper its roots must be. If not, one strong wind can bring it down." In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, "Perform your duty with humility and detachment." Why? Because pride turns blessings into burdens. I once met a famous musician backstage after an event. Despite his global fame, he touched my feet out of respect. I said, "You are the one who deserves respect, not me." He smiled and said, "Swamiji, talent may make me great, but humility keeps me grounded. That's the secret. Success should make you grateful, not arrogant. Because arrogance blinds you, gratitude refines you." Let me share a funny but profound story. A frog once fell into a bucket of milk. He couldn't jump out, so he kept paddling. Hours passed, but he didn't give up. Slowly his movement churned the milk into butter, and finally he hopped out. When asked later what kept him going, he said, "Faith. When success comes, don't stop paddling. Keep working hard, keep learning, keep serving. Because the moment you think, 'I've arrived,' life will remind you that there's still more to learn." Staying grounded means remembering where you came from and who helped you reach where you are. Gratitude keeps you humble and humility keeps you wise. Once I visited an old temple in South India. The priest told me, "Swamiji, the taller the temple tower, the deeper its foundation underground." I thought, what a perfect metaphor for life. The more you rise, the deeper your humility should go. So, how do you stay grounded while you grow? By practicing 3 habits: reflection, gratitude, and mentorship. Reflection. Spend time each day asking, "Am I becoming a better person or just a more successful one?" Gratitude. Never forget the people who helped you climb. Thank them, even silently. Mentorship. Keep someone in your life who can remind you that the crown you wear is temporary. Because the truth is, you can have everything in the world, but if you lose humility, you lose yourself. A tree laden with fruit always bends. The more you achieve, the softer your words should become. Friends, the world may admire your success, but it will love your humility. Once, after a talk in New York, a young man said, "Swamiji, I want to be rich, but I'm afraid success will change me." I told him, "Don't worry about success changing you. Worry about success revealing who you really are. If your roots are strong, success won't change you, it will amplify you." So, rule 4 is simple yet powerful. Stay grounded while you grow. Because true greatness is not about being above others, it's about being among others with love and humility. You see, when a candle lights another candle, its flame doesn't diminish, it doubles. In the same way, when you lift others while climbing, your light doesn't reduce, it multiplies. And that, my dear, our friends, is the secret of sustained success. Humility in achievement, gratitude in abundance, and grace in growth. Now we've covered 4 rules. Master your mind before you chase the world. Serve before you deserve. Turn your pain into purpose. Stay grounded while you grow. But there's one final rule left, one that ties everything together. The rule that helps you live, love, and leave a legacy. So in our next and final part, we'll explore Rule 5 and the ultimate call to action, how to apply all these principles and truly win in life. My dear friends, we've traveled quite a journey together. We've learned to master our minds, to serve before we deserve, to turn pain into purpose, and to stay grounded while we grow. Now comes the 5th and final rule, the one that ties all others together like a thread through pearls. Rule number 5. Live with love and leave a legacy. Let me begin with a simple question. How do you want to be remembered when you're gone? When people think of you, will they remember your possessions or your compassion? Will they talk about your bank balance or the balance you brought into their lives? Because at the end of it all, my friends, people don't remember what we had. They remember how we made them feel. Once I was at a funeral of a very wealthy man. The hall was full of flowers, but empty of hearts. People came, paid respect, but left quickly. There were no tears, only formality. A few weeks later, I attended the funeral of a humble school teacher. The hall was overflowing. Students, neighbors, even strangers stood with tears in their eyes. That day I realized, a rich life has nothing to do with riches. It has everything to do with relationships. You can have all the wealth in the world, but if you don't have people who genuinely care for you, you are poor. And you can have very little. But if you give love freely, you are rich. Richest person alive. Love, my dear friends, is the highest form of intelligence. It's not about romance or sentiment. It's about kindness, understanding, and presence. A young man once asked me, Swamiji, what's the greatest investment I can make in life? I said, invest in people. Love people genuinely. Everything else loses value over time, but love compounds with interest. And the interesting thing about love is that it multiplies when you give it away. The more you love, the more love you feel. The more you forgive, the lighter you become. The more you care, the more connected you feel. Isn't weakness, it's strength in its purest form. Once, a small child gave his mother a note that read, for washing my clothes, 10 Indian rupees. For making my food, 20 Indian rupees. For cleaning my room, 15 Indian rupees. Total equal to 45 Indian rupees. The mother smiled and gave him another note that said, for carrying you 9 months, no charge. For staying awake when you were sick, no charge. For loving you unconditionally, no charge. The boy read it and tears rolled down his cheeks. He hugged his mother and said, Mama, the bill is paid in full. That's love. It gives without counting. And that's how we must live, with a heart full of love and a life full of giving. Because when you love, you don't just exist, you truly live. Love has the power to heal the most broken hearts, to unite the most divided people, and to bring peace where there is chaos. You might think, Swamiji, that sounds beautiful, but the world is harsh. People will take advantage if we love too much. Yes, that may happen, but remember, love anyway. If people are unkind, be kind anyway. If they don't appreciate your efforts, give anyway. Because your actions reflect who you are, not who they are. The Buddha once said, hatred does not cease by hatred. Hatred ceases by love. And that's how real winners live. They don't react to the world's bitterness, they respond with sweetness. They don't compete in cruelty, they lead with compassion. So rule 5 is this: live with love and leave a legacy. A legacy is not a monument, it's a memory. It's not about how many people knew you, but how many were moved by you. Once a student asked me, Swamiji, how can I leave a legacy if I'm not famous? I smiled and said, do you need to be famous to be good? A candle in a dark room may not light the whole city, but it can still make the room brighter. You don't have to change the world, just change someone's world. Maybe there's a child who needs your encouragement. Maybe a friend who needs your time. Maybe a stranger who needs your smile. These small acts of love are the seeds of legacy. Life is like a bank account. Every act of kindness is a deposit. Every act of selfishness is a withdrawal. When you leave this world, your balance sheet won't show how much you earned, but how much you gave. And when your time comes, the only question that will matter is, did you live well, love deeply, and leave gently? Let me share a personal story. Years ago, I visited a hospice where people were spending their last days. I spoke with an elderly man who said, Swamiji, I spent my whole life earning money. I never had time for my children, and now they don't have time for me. He looked at me with teary eyes and said, I climbed the ladder of success, but I realized too late it was leaning against the wrong wall. That hit me deeply. Because so many people live like that. Busy climbing, busy competing, but forgetting to live, love, and laugh along the way. My dear friends, don't let that happen to you. Winning in life is not about being remembered by the world. It's about being missed by hearts. So how do we live with love every day? By practicing 3 E things: forgiveness, empathy, and presence. Forgiveness, because holding grudges is like holding hot coal. You think you're punishing the other person, but you're only burning your own hand. Let go. People are imperfect, just like you. Empathy, because understanding someone's pain is greater than solving it. Sometimes people don't need advice, they just need someone to listen. Presence, because love lives in the now. You can't love from your past regrets or future worries. Be there fully for the people you care about. Remember, the people you love won't remember your words as much as your warmth. They won't remember what you gave them, but how you made them feel seen, valued, and loved. Now, my dear friends, as we come to the end of this journey, these 5 rules to win in life, let me remind you of them one last time. Master your mind before you chase the world, because a peaceful mind is your greatest strength. Serve before you deserve, because the joy of giving is the true measure of living. Turn your pain into purpose, because your scars can become your stars. Stay grounded while you grow, because humility is the fragrance of greatness. Live with love and leave a legacy, because love is the only thing you take with you and the only thing you leave behind. Now, before we conclude, let me give you a gentle call to action, something to take home, not just in your notebook, but in your heart. When you wake up tomorrow morning, don't rush into your phone or your to-do list. Sit up, close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself 3 questions. What am I grateful for today? Who can I serve today? How can I grow today? If you live your day with these 3 intentions, your life will become a masterpiece. Gratitude will give you peace. Service will give you purpose. Growth will give you fulfillment. And remember, my dear friends, winning in. Life isn't about crossing a finish line. It's about crossing your fears, your doubts, your limits, and helping others do the same. Life is short, unpredictable, and precious. Don't waste it chasing what won't matter in the end. There's a beautiful saying, we all have 2 lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. So live your one life fully, with joy, gratitude, and love. Laugh often, forgive quickly, give generously, and smile always. Because a day without laughter is a day half lived, and a life without love is a life half won. So, my dear friends, as we part today, remember, the true winner in life is not the one who has the most, but the one who gives the most, loves the most, and smiles the most. May your mind be peaceful, your heart be kind, your purpose be clear, and your life be filled with light. And as you walk out into the world, carry these 5 rules not as lessons, but as companions to remind you, guide you, and uplift you. Because in the end, life's greatest victory is not about reaching the top, but about touching hearts along the way. So go out there, live fully, love deeply, and win gracefully. Not over others, but over yourself. Thank you very much.